How mean is that? You know, it's funny. Bill Gorgo, I haven't seen him in 18 years. He has no idea. I just took his head off in a fucking ballroom before Murph and the Magic Tones come on. And until then, don't go change it.
Schmitty Comes Alive. Available only on the Joe Business page at MikeSchmidtComedy.com.
Oh, yeah. I am awake and alive. I'm so great, I gotta say it twice and cut it out once. My head's a syrup bottle that's getting tipped over every Wednesday. You're a storyteller in a storytelling podcast, and the only story you're telling now is a story about stories you don't want to tell. What the fuck? Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-year-old boy podcast. Hey, I forgot how to do this. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't. It's been 2 weeks, and already hearing it starting on the other side of the room. I don't know what to do here. I know what I'm supposed to do, but I've kind of lost it. Like, I've been sitting here. What time is it now? It's like 4? 3:53. I've been sitting here for 53 minutes trying to figure out exactly how to do this. And it's weird. I should remember exactly how to do it. All you do is just get on here and talk. But how do I, you know what, here's a good, you know what's inside my head? Bees. I have bees inside my head. It's like I have a swarm of bees, and I don't know which one to focus on. Does that make any sense to you guys out there? Like, I have things to talk about. Obviously, it's been 2 weeks since I've talked to you or shared anything with you at any point in time. And you just keep getting more things to talk about, folks. Case in point, I had things. I'm like, all right, well, I already got my swarm of bees all set up. I've got them harvested in their honeycomb inside my brain, and I'm ready to go ahead and bring you what their honey is. And then I walk out of my house. I'm at my apartment. All right, I'm getting my honeycomb together. I'm getting all my bees gathered up. I'm getting my queen squared away and getting my drones ready to fuck her and fill her with honey. I don't know how bees work. I don't watch the Science Channel. Is there a Science Channel? I didn't know there is. There's a History Channel. There should be a Science Channel because I could have another channel I could ignore and never fucking watch. Who the fuck wants to watch the Science Channel? How awful is that? Hi, here's a tube with stuff in it and there's smoke coming out of it. That might be the Munsters. Hold on a second. That might not be the Science Channel. That could be Grandpa's lab. All right. So I have a head full of bees, and I don't know what to focus on, and yet I'm at my house. I'm getting my bees in order. I'm putting those slats inside of the honeycomb hive, and I'm ready to come here and bring you their delicious honey. And then I walk outside, another bee shows up. Here's what happens at my house, folks. I'm at my apartment. I'm getting ready to split. I've got to come here to get talk to Lily, and I called her and to see if she needed medicine or juice. Because that's the kind of guy I am. And I do that whenever I leave my house. I call whoever I'm going to their house, especially these days. Holy fuck, you heard that. You heard that cough, right? Am I the only guy not sick? I think I am, and I shouldn't jinx it. I did not want to be here today. I have to be here. Today, this is a job, all right? I won't lie to you. I love talking to you guys, but in like 5 days, I'm getting on a fucking plane, which is already going to be filled with germs, so I can't get sick. I get a show in Chicago next week. Fuck. 9 days away, folks. And by the way, while we're talking about that, how about if you buy some tickets for the Chicago show? Wouldn't that be great? Because I'm not sick. And I don't even give a fuck if you're sick. Buy tickets. I'll be in a room full of sick people. I'll just wear a fucking Chinese traveler fucking Michael Jackson surgical mask on my face. I should be wearing that now, quite frankly. I'm in the pit of it right now. I'm sitting in a petri dish. It's awful. I'm covered in agar and there's flu germs and it's just brutal here. I don't even want to. And it's funny. I keep thinking to myself, I'm like, well, maybe if I talk faster, I can get out of here faster because I don't want to be in here with all the germs and stuff. But if you talk faster, all you're doing is just cramming a bunch of shit in there, and it leaves me more space to breathe. I have to breathe, and then I breathe in these fucking germs. Man, I need to have a mask on. I need a goddamn mask. Because you know why, folks? I'm the Omega Man. That's the fuck I am. All the rest of the world is infected, and I am the Omega Man. I am separate. I'm the last man on earth. I'm Vincent Price. That's who the fuck I am. I'm in my house with the fucking windows boarded up, and at the end of the night, Lily and the rest of these fucking sick bastards pound on my walls and just go, Morgan! I don't know why they'd call me Morgan. Maybe they're just doing the scene from the movie. Maybe they're not really sick. Maybe, you know what? Maybe it's just people bothering me in the night. That's what it is. I thought it was sick people actually coming to get me, but when they're yelling Morgan, they're just recreating The Last Man on Earth, and they think I'm Vincent Price. Maybe they think I'm Vincent Price. Holy shit. I don't know an ascot. I'm not Vincent Price. All right. All right, I do own an ascot, but I'm still not Vincent Price. You know what? I have an ascock. Oh, it's certainly, believe me, you do not want to see that around my neck. You do not want to see that around my neck. You do, you really? All right, good. Don't talk. Don't close your mouth. Sew up your orifices. I don't want to get fucking sick, man. This is the wrong place to be at this point. God damn it. So then, like I said, I get a head full of bees, a swarm of bees, and they're flying around and they're making honey, and I'm coming here to bring you the honey, folks. Last week you went honeyless. That was terrible. You know what you had last week? Nut Cheerios. That's all you had last week. Because the honey was at my house, God damn it. Last week for your podcast, you had a whole bowl of Nut Cheerios. That's it. Not good, right? Certainly you didn't like the bitter taste of Nut Cheerios in your mouth. I know I wouldn't, for fuck's sake. Me and my bees were home off last week. Had to hang up a sign that said "Gone Being" right on the fucking door. You okay? I will not. You know what? This is my goal now. I'm going to make you die. That's literally. I only want to kill you. It's like, 'cause then I don't have to do the show anymore. Then I'm off. It like helps us both. You die and you go up to fucking Burlesque Heaven and spin around on God's pole, and I'm down here with nothing to do, with a head full of bees. It's perfect. I'm gone being for the rest of my life. Folks, it's over. It's over. Everything's falling apart. In 2 weeks, you think that in 2 weeks I would have gathered some. No, it's gotten worse. I wish I had good news to bring you. I wish I did, but it's terrible. I applied. There was a gig. Dude, there was a gig online that I was perfect for, like wheelhouse for. Literally, it was like, we need a fat guy to write about pop culture. I'm like, done. I'm in. And I sent him the fucking thing. I didn't hear a word back. They didn't even call me. They didn't fucking send me a note to say fuck you. Nothing. I am just getting defeated at every turn, and it's getting to that point. It's getting to the point where I'm going to have to do the thing I didn't want to do. God damn it, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to have to fucking do it. And you know what? Let's put it this way. There is a rock bottom for me, in my opinion, in the job market that I see, and I think to myself, this is going to be a terrible, terrible fate. All right? Even... well, fuck. You know what? Like Chipotle or any of that bullshit would be rock bottom. You know, actually, rock bottom would be anywhere. You know what would be rock bottom? Like if I was the cook in a comedy club, that would be like rock bottom, because I would have to watch all these talented people go up while I'm fucking slinging burgers to people, chopping pickles on the diagonal. Holy fuck. By the way, someone should sample that and put it in a rap song. Chopping pickles on the diagonal, chopping pickles on the diagonal. It's too many syllables. Doesn't flow. Let's kill that bee. All right, so, folks, but I'm getting to that point now. Like, because all right, there was a job on Craigslist. I'm not going to get into it, but it was, but there was a phone number listed. It was like, because usually you have to email and all that kind of stuff. Well, there was a job listed and it had a phone number. And I wrote it. I bookmarked it on my computer. I look at it every day. I wrote the phone number down. I have not called them because I can't. That's the Hail Mary pass. I mean, that's the if I wind up doing this in the ghetto of this industry, that I will be fucking. That's it. I mean, look, making food for people is bad enough. Washing dishes and fucking janitor shit. And look, by the way, if you do those things, good on you. I've done them. I've lived my life fucking elbow deep in dishwater, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what? I quote the famous Richard Marx. I think I've talked about that on here. When I was applying for jobs a million years ago when I was in Tahoe, when shit hit the fan, for one of the many times that shit has hit the fan, when my bees were dead and I had to go out and get a real gig. I applied at McDonald's and got turned down in Tahoe. Did I tell that story? Yeah. Oh, fuck me, dude. This is when I lived in Lake Tahoe and I was running bets for a guy. I've talked about that on here by year one. And although, you know what? Just stick around, because I'm sure that story's going to find the light of day again once Lily dies and I have to fucking put up reruns. Eventually, I'll have to just use all of those old stories. Are you okay? What's happening?
We're good.
All right, I thought the computer froze. Poor Lily is like concentrating, staring at the computer. I think she's just trying to, look, Lily doesn't want to be sick. You know what I wanted to do here? All right, I'll run this by you right now. Lily is still sick, by the way. Let's talk about that. She's not dead anymore, but she's still sick. She called me last week to tell me that we weren't doing a show. All right. Can we put the voicemail in the show? Can we play it?
I don't want to. I don't know what I said.
It doesn't matter what you said. Nobody will hear it, because all they're going to hear is that Darth Vader who had a plunger on his face. I mean, it's the fucking craziest voice I've ever heard in my life. I honestly thought that zombie B. Arthur had gotten my phone number and called me up and was like, It sounded like the autopsy of a dog. I mean, it was so fucking brutal. Of course I do.
If you want to put it in,
I've saved every voicemail I've ever received in my life.
you are weird.
I am. All right. That's a lie. I don't have all my voicemail. How ridiculous would that be? What if I did it? Because I it was a long con on everybody I've ever met, and I couldn't wait to just unveil at some point. Ha ha! Remember this voicemail from 2004? No, I don't. And it doesn't. Well, on there you said that if I ever needed anything to call you. Guess what? Here's this phone number on this pad of paper that I do not want to call. Help me out. I applied for gigs, man. And there are some gigs that are out of my league. And by the way, let me go ahead and say this real quick. I got an email a couple of days ago from a guy. Remember I was on here bitching and moaning about how, I don't know, Avid or Avid or whatever the fuck, Avid. All right, string outs and all that horse shit. I haven't even replied to this guy's email yet, so I should probably not talk about this, but I will, and then I'll send him an email tonight. And in the email, I'm going to say, hey, I talked about you on the show, and he's going to go, deals off. There's a guy out here in L.A. who listens to the show and wrote me and is like, hey, man, he works as a producer, string out guy, all that stuff, and he offered to, as a thank you for the years of me doing this show, he's going to teach me Avid. He's like, yeah, man, I will show you how to use it, how to do it, how to run the program, how to work it, and so then you'll have that in your hip pocket. And by the way, his phone number is the phone number I have on that pad of paper. That's rock bottom. Learning Avid in a Starbucks from a stranger. Oh my fucking Christ. Unleash my bees, goddammit. I must unleash my bees on this fucking populace. Can't be sitting in Starbucks learning Avid from a guy who's better than me. That's going to be awful. Because everybody will know. Because he'll be like dressed up in fancy Avid clothes, and I'll be wearing like street urchin outfits. I'll look like fucking Oliver Twist with a bowl with an Avid program in it. Please, sir, teach me more. Awful. How far the mighty have fallen, folks. How far the non-mighty have fallen. I'm not mighty at all. Mighty's for mice. Fuck that. I want that in a shirt. Make me a shirt. All right. I must unleash my shirt bees on the populace. Look at all my shirt bees. Right there, you just heard from the shirt bee. Mighty's for mice. Fuck that. Done. Shirt bee. God damn it. My head's full of bees, folks, and they all want to crack at you. And yet more bees keep stuffing themselves in there. I got no room for all these fucking bees in my head. Oh, all right. So what was I saying, other than the fact that I have no job and no life and everything has hit the ground? Oh, I'm going to tax prison. I should mention that to you, folks. Yes, I am. I am. You know why? Because here's the thing. You know who you hire as your accountant, folks? Someone who gets the flu and can't help you. That's what you do. God damn it. It's not your fault. It's my life. It's I because I'm a fuck up. And I'm just like, I put things to the side. I'm like, yeah, someone else will take care of that, right? And then I hide under the coats, as we all know. Well, I've been hiding under the coats for a year, and the tax man has come to roost. I'm already paying federal on an installment program, and now I have the city of Los Angeles coming after Throat Punch. They're like, hey, you're like a business, right? Well, we want all of your money. What the fuck? And here's my favorite thing. They sent me a letter. They're like, hey, dude. And look, in all fairness, they've sent me like 30 letters, probably. Okay, I won't lie. And they get folded very nicely and put to the side. And I wait for my accountant or somebody who portrays my accountant on TV to come by and go, where's your tax bees? And I fucking unleash them all over them. So they sent me these fucking letters, and it's all like, hey, you run a business, right? Well, it'd be a shame if anything happened to it. Like the fucking mob. And I'm like, I don't know, because I don't know. I really don't. I sell T-shirts out of my garage. I mean, I'm fucking nobody. I'm Fugazi. Why are you coming after Fugazi? I'm sleeping on people's floors, for fuck's sake. I'm learning. I have to depend on the kindness of strangers to teach me Avid in a coffee house. And you're coming after me for dough? Fuck you. So they sent me 80 letters, and I fold them again very nicely, and I put them in the tax bee pile, waiting for my lovely friend Lily to come over and help me with my taxes, or my fucking mouthy accountant who's just, look, I like him. He does a great job, but I don't know why the fuck he didn't just do this. And actually, all right, look, this isn't, it's not all my fault. It is my fault, but it's not my fault. This is gonna be bad. Lily, I came here today. I'm like, hey, there's a letter, like a thing that you kind of, because we were told last August to take care of this. And Lily's like, I'll write you the letter. It's no problem. And now here we are in January. And it's not her fault, it's my fault. Because again, this is the same thing that happened with the fucking rental car. I just assumed everything was fixed, and then it wasn't, and then all of a sudden I'm still getting phone calls from those motherfuckers. By the way, anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, buy past years, because it helps me pay my tax bees. It does. I'm done fucking telling you what the fuck where it came from. Buy everything, all right? Just buy year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4. Buy them all, catch up. I'll wait. I swear to God, I'll wait. If you send me a note and you're like, hey, dude, I'm going to buy all of them and I want to listen to them in order. So can you hold off for a while? I will. I will fucking stand down. Literally, I will just show up here with a fucking kazoo and play taps for fucking weeks on end until you catch up. If you're willing to give me fucking $75 for a Podcast in the Caribbean set, this whole fucking thing goes on hold and I will wait for you to catch up. It's perfect. You're like a 5-year-old and I'm like your dad and I'm way ahead of you and you're like, Dad, wait up. I'll wait up. I'm good. Your tiny legs don't move as quickly as the bees in my fucking head, so I'll slow down. You can't possibly catch up to me. I'm on the wings of a dream. All right. God damn it, folks. It's over. It's over. It's all over. So I get this fucking letter and I bring it and so I tell Lily, and Lily, look, Lily's been in a fucking oxygen tent for weeks. And I get that. I understand that. Oh, well, except for when she has to go to the Magic Castle or go see her friends. All right. So anyway.
Just finally last night.
Yeah. Of course. Well, I'm glad you were able to go. That's fantastic. There was a letter that needed to be read. Anyway.
Yes, at your house.
Enjoy the Magic Castle. Can I get like 5 of those dudes to just show up at the Los Angeles and make me disappear? Like, how great would that be? If I walk in with like a team, a phalanx of magicians, and then it's like, woof, and there's a pile of smoke. A pile of smoke? That would be awful. That's the worst smoke I've ever heard of. How about a puff of smoke or a cloud of smoke? Puff of smoke I am not disappearing in. I need a cloud of smoke to disappear. Actually, maybe I just dive into a pile of smoke and see what the fuck. Because honestly, if they make a pile of smoke appears, everybody's like, what the fuck is that? A pile of smoke? And I sneak back, I take my files, and boom, we fly out with my tax bees. Gone. No more letters. No more coming after Throw Punch Media, the least successful small business in Los Angeles. But they've targeted me. They're honing in on me right now. Antonio Villaraigosa is right outside my door with his fucking sombrero and poncho going, hey, give us our money, senor. That seems racist. I just like the name Villaraigosa. He sounds like he should be shooting people in a fucking Sergio Leone Western. All right. Folks. So the head is full of bees. There's so many bees, and they're dying because they can't be fed. I can't feed them, folks. I have nothing coming in. It's awful. Everything's going to hell. All right. I'm applying for gigs and not getting them, and then I'm applying, and then I'm applying for shitty gigs and I'm not getting them. That's the thing that's crazy. Is like if I apply for stuff that I want and I don't get it, that's a blow. If I apply for shit that I don't want, but I need that I have to get a job and I don't get it, I don't even get a call. This is not a joke. I have applied for, I'm gonna say 35 jobs. All right, 35 jobs, and not heard back from anybody. Like, not even a note that was like, you are a dick. I mean, like, I would take that. Hey, prospective employers, send me a note that says you are a dick. And I would just be like, there's progress and hope. Because at least I would know that my letters were escaping the ghetto of my email. At this point, I don't even know. Because I send them out of my email program and I send them high priority with I want to be notified when they're read and I want to be notified when they're whatever the fuck. And I get none of that. So I'm wondering if it's my email program. Sure it is. It's not my resume or anything like that. It's not my lack of talent or experience in any of these fucking fields. No. And then these jobs and fucking Craigslist. I want to just, you know what? I wish someone could invent a computer virus that I could just put up an ad on Craigslist, and anybody who clicks on that ad, Craigslist just explodes. It explodes in a huge pile of no pay notices. Jesus fucking Christ. And look, I know I'm wasting my time on Craigslist, but it's where you go now. It's what you do. You can go to fucking Monster or Career Builder. I've got a profile on Career Builder. I've got a profile. Do I have one on Monster? I don't know if I do, but it doesn't matter because they're all the same thing. They're all the same fucking jobs. I get notes all the time now from staff. No, Staff Me Up I go to all the time. What was the other fucking place that sends me stuff? I don't even know. I signed up for them, and they send me notes all the time. They're like, hey, janitors are hiring in your area. Oh, my fucking God, really? Why don't you just mail me a broom with a note that says, ha ha! You used electronic mail to tell me they're looking for janitors. That's not an abuse of the technology? I can't find it. And I'm coming at you with this because I have I who have nothing. I mean, it's literally, and I've talked about this before, and you're bored of hearing it, okay? It's like, I'm trying to make it as funny as possible, the fact that everything's going to hell, but I just, literally, I'm the guy, like, if I was in World War II and my plane was shot, would I be doing jokes on the radio as it fucking plummeted to the ground, and I was heading for the camps? God damn it. That's who I am. That's my lot in life. I'm the funny guy in a tragedy. That's who I am. That's like I said, I'm funny at a wake. They should have had me in Vietnam. If I would have been at the fucking Hanoi Hilton, I would have been cracking those dudes up with a rat on my face. God damn, that would have been great. Seriously. If I'm in the Deer Hunter and I'm at that fucking Russian roulette game and they start slapping me in the face, I would stand up and do like a curly face and everybody would crack up and the game ends. That's perfect. I'm there. I'm alleviating tension. Tung Sung Mao. And I'd stand up and I'd go, Tung Sung Mo. And then I'd slap him in the face, and then he'd go to poke me in the eyes and put my hand between my nose. Fucking perfect. And we all have a good laugh, and then we eat rat.
Oh my god.
Although the Russian roulette was in a nightclub, so I would hope they had bumped up from rat at that point. They'd had their fill of rat in the camp. If you're gonna take these dudes out, actually it was in both. It was in the nightclub and in the camp. All right, never mind.
Oh my god.
Tung Sung Mo, come on. Everybody knows that, come on, I have the Three Stooges bee right now. He's flying around. He's flexing. He's so happy that I made that joke. All right, so. This is horrible. I'm rubbing my eyes like a 5-year-old right now because I want to cry.
Oh my god.
I'm sad. All right. So, man, I don't know what the fuck is happening. I'm going to tax prison. That's all I know. So they sent me these fucking letters. They sent me like 80 letters, or one. It could be 10. I don't know. But when I did the taxes last year, the guy's like, hey, this is easy. All you got to do is this. And Lily's like, well, I'll write that letter for you. And again, like I said, now it's January. So I come here today, and Lily's like, make sure. I said, look, I don't mean to bother you. I mean, I understand that there's a spot on your lung, but because it's funny, last week I wanted to come here last week to do, because I don't like putting up shows that don't have me or new content. There's me. I guess I was in last week's show, but I need new content. I like to kind of I need to make it in the present. How the fuck do I don't even know what I was saying anymore. But the bottom line is I wanted to come here last week and do the show, but when Lily called me and left this voicemail, I you know what? It's funny. I actually thought Brian De Palma had her call me, and there was a huge ugly-faced Indian strangling her with a phone cord. Like it was that, or it was like in Halloween when PJ Souls got the call and the guy, oh, who's this? Because it's bad. If we can do it, I would love to put it in because it's fucking. I mean, because people, they write me and they're like, wow, how sick is Lily if you can't even do a show? Well, again, and it's a two-sided coin. Heads, she can't do the show because she couldn't even sit up and get to the fucking computer. But tails, do you fucking think I want to be here? Looking at that and trying to make her laugh? I mean, she was in no condition to laugh. She was ready to fucking die. So the second I walk in the door and I'm like, hi, how are you? Haha, let's all have fun. And she's just like, ugh! And I'm covered in lung. I can't do a show covered in lung. She made fucking Val Kilmer and Tombstone look healthy. She was definitely not my Huckleberry, I can tell you that. All right. And I even tried. I called her. I said, look, I'm coming over there, and hell's coming with me. All right. Folks, so so the tax guys sent me this note. And I haven't talked to Lily, all right, because she's so busy with all of her friends in the Magic Castle and coughing. And she's very busy. I think she spent 2 days blowing her nose, and then the rest of it, she was, pulling a balloon out of a guy's ass. So I could not bother her. She could not be bothered, folks. She was tied up with sickness and magic. So I could not come here last week. Again, it was all a problem, and I don't even want to be here now. Well, I don't. It has nothing to do with you, technically. It's just, I'm not kidding. I'm climbing into a fucking metal tube full of germs next week. And part of me thinks I should have my own germs to fight off the other germs. But then part of me is just like, I just want to seal my head in wax. And, you know what? Fuck. Bees, honeycombs, wax. There you go. I'll have my sick bees cover my sick area. I don't know what the fuck that means. A sick area? I'll just impact my nose and my mouth with honeycomb. All right, so Lily is so sick last week, and I finally get her on the phone today, and I call up, and I called her yesterday. I said, "How are we doing? Are we okay for tomorrow?" She goes, "Yes, I think we're okay. We'll be fine." I said, "Good." And I said, "I don't mean to push or press or pry or any other word that begins with P, but," and she goes, "The taxes, I know," because she's also working on my 2011 or 2012 taxes, which I have to file. And she's been doing that, and all right, let's say this really quick. I pay her to do that. Like, I mean, not a lot. But I don't want you guys thinking that I'm this horrible guy who does nothing and I make fucking Lily come over and crack the whip on her to do my taxes and produce my show. I mean, she does get money from it. It's certainly not enough to get her out of the oldest building in Hollywood, and probably not enough to buy her any fucking Mucinex, apparently. But I do okay. We do, it's not even okay. I wish, believe me, her and David deserve so much more for the amount of work that they do for this show. And quite frankly, so do I. I'm not going to lie to you. I just did, it's funny. I did my friend Caleb Bacon. He's a good guy, and he had a podcast for a long time. I forget what it was called, but he used to interview a bunch of porn chicks, and then he interviewed me, which was a step down. But Caleb's a good guy. He's a writer and has his podcast. Well, he asked me if I would do his new podcast. He's doing a show called Man School, I think it's called. And I said, sure. Why not? I'm not doing anything, and my producer is ill. So he calls me up, and I go to his place in Hollywood to go to the show. And I will tell you this: I think it came out great. He told me he was going to edit it, so he might make me look like a complete dick. And I even wrote him that in the email. I go, look, you don't have to edit that. I can make myself look like a complete dick on my own. I don't need your help. And he was very nice. It's so funny when people tell me they're going to edit what I do, I get a little weirded out because I've been on shows where they've edited it, and I felt I sounded stupid. Because again, I can sound stupid all on my own. It's just, but they want to cut out 10 minutes of my stupid, and it's like, no, dude, you got to leave all my stupid in there in context. It's like taking 2 chapters out of a book. You can't do that. Imagine like reading chapter 9 and then having to go to chapter fucking 12. You're like, what the fuck happened to 10 and 11? Well, it was kind of stupid. We took it out. Fuck that. I want to learn that stupid stuff. You can't kill any of my bees. All my bees must come in a swarm. You can't have individual bees. So I did the show with Caleb, and it was nice. It's an interview show, and he's talking. It's about dudes and what they do and what they shouldn't do and what they should do. And I can tell you I am firmly in the camp of what they shouldn't do. That's the show. I'm the cautionary tale of his fucking run. But he tells me that he's part of a podcast network. And I was like, okay, cool. I go, what is it? But it's like, I think it's Tommy Chong. It's a bunch of dudes, like famous dudes. And I'm in Caleb's house. I go, how the fuck did you get on there, Caleb? And it sounded bad. I didn't mean it to sound bad. But he did his other show, and they liked his other show. And so they scooped him up, and he's going to do, it's a network where there's a bunch of like celeb guys, and Caleb's going to do their shows, and they're going to do his shows, and they're all going to cross promote, and everybody's going to get famous. And that's awesome. But it left me going, what the fuck am I doing that nobody cares? And look, you care, everybody cares, but real fucking guys with money don't care. I don't know how to put it. And again, I wouldn't give a flying fuck about it at all if it wasn't for the fact that I'm about to drown in tax debt, but who cares? And by the way, by tax debt, I just should lose tax debt. How did I get off on that tangent? And regardless, Caleb's show is great, and I like Caleb. He's very cool. It's just, when you're sitting there and he's like, yeah, I'm in this new network with these famous dudes. And I'm like, that's totally awesome. I'm going to go drive my car into a retaining wall. I mean, I don't want to sound like that guy, even though I am that guy. Let's be honest with ourselves. And again, none of this would fucking matter. And you know what's funny? When I lost the gig, I told myself, you know what? You can't talk about it every week. You can't fucking do that. You can't fucking badger people unless you have good news. If you want to bring good news to the table, then that's cool. But go back and listen. All right, let's put it this way. Let's learn. Let's learn about Mike and his bees, folks. Let's do that. Let's learn about podcasts. Let's learn about talking. Let's learn about firing on all cylinders. Go back to the show where I lost my gig, and I think it was called "What Do You Know?" I think it was a 3-hour show. Okay, and then look at the subsequent shows after that, because I told myself I couldn't talk. So You know what I did, folks? I harnessed my bees. That's what I did for those weeks. I went ahead and I put a net over my bees because I didn't want to keep bringing you sadness bees. You know what I mean? The sadness bees had to have the fucking week off. So I wasn't letting my hands go as far as talking and making things happen. And this show is all about having to just fucking fire. I mean, literally, this show is just all about fragging everyone within a fucking 15-mile radius. It is, you cannot, this show is not for sharpshooters. This show is a fucking machine gun, all right? This show is not a sniper on a fucking roof. This show is a drone taking out a village. I mean, I cannot fucking specify. I can't be a guy who fucking has a pinpoint narrow viewpoint. I have to spread my jam all over the bread, folks. That's what I got to do. I can't just put a fucking dollop of jam. I got to spread jam everywhere. I can't just sting you with one bee. I got to kill you with a fucking swarm. Do you get it? So those shows, I wasn't letting my hands go. And then a couple of weeks ago, I came here and I was like, in my head, I go, what the fuck are you doing, man? You got to stop it. You got to just fucking unleash. Just be you. Just do what you do, man. And look, you don't fucking care about this. Nobody wants to hear about the behind the curtain because you know what's behind the curtain? Dangerous bees. Nobody wants to look behind the curtain and get fucking stung by dangerous bees, but that's what's behind my curtain, so you got to deal with it. And sometimes I want to peel the curtain back and tell you what's going on. But for those shows, I kept myself, you know what I was? I was podcasting veal. That's what I was. I was in a box, man. I kept myself in a box. I was podcasting veal all fucking crunched up and there was nothing. I was like the dude in Zero Dark 30 that they jam in the box. Did you guys see Zero Dark 30? Holy fuck. And how crazy did I said Zero Dark 30 when you showed me the 30? God damn it, we're in symmetry again. We're back. Me and producer Lily are back for the attack, folks. Like Dawkins. I said Zero Dark 30, and she held up a pad of paper that said 30 because this is the 30-minute mark. And I said to myself in my brain, you know what? Before I left the house, my timing bee said, wonder if we could get Zero Dark 30, jumped in right around the 30 mark. Yes, we did, without even fucking thinking about it. Hit myself in the chest. All right. So I wasn't letting it go, man. I wasn't letting my hands go. And then a couple of weeks ago, I just went, fucking just talk, stupid. And then I did, and it was awesome. And unfortunately, it was so awesome that it made Lily ill. And so then last week we were off. But then I'm here now, and it's like but now see, I let my hands go, and it's all about how I can't get a gig, and you guys don't want to fucking hear that. Who wants to? Because you guys have your own depressing lives, and I don't mean that in a mean way. That sounds awful. I'm not casting aspersions on all of you. Some of you have great lives. Some of you have amazing jobs at shows in Hollywood and can offer to spend your free time with a dumb fucking Starbucks and teach them Avid. That's great for you. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those dudes. So I suck you into my sadness web. I bring you into my sadness hive. That's what I do, folks. I bring you right in here with me, and we all huddle down and bunker down and wait for the fucking blitz to end. Because it'll end, right? It's going to end at some point. So Lily tells me to bring this fucking note over here today. Because I told her, I said, look, taxes. And she's like, yeah, no problem. I understand that. I said, well, there's that letter. And she's like, yeah, bring over the thing. I'll take care of it right before the podcast. I said, good. So, well, you know what? Because I don't want to lose Zero Dark 30. Remember, I got to talk about that. Well, there's nothing to talk about. I saw it. Did you guys see it? It was fucking amazing. It was ridiculous. I saw a ton of movies. I've seen movies the last few weeks. I never get to talk about Django on here. Because when I saw it Christmas night. And you know what's funny is people are writing me notes like, dude, you got to see Django. Hey, who are you talking to? I might be in Django. That's how fucking in tight I am with fucking Django. God damn it. I've seen it. I've seen it twice. Waiting to go again. By the way, I have no job and no money. Can't wait to get to the movies a third time. Holy shit. So, literally this whole show's about how everything's going to hell, and then I'm telling you that I saw Django a million times. God damn it. Well, how do you not, though? I'm not going to die going, thank God my taxes are paid. I'm going to die going, that was awesome seeing Django for the fourth time, wasn't it? By the way, I'm assuming I will die the night I see Django for the fourth time. Oh, it's over. All right. So, this fucking tax letter, Lily tells me, well, no, hold on. All right, so I saw it. I got to tell it. I can't talk about Django yet. See my bees. The bees are all over the place. I can't harness these bees. All these other bees are swooping to the forefront, folks. And now I'm getting movie honey in my mouth, and that's what I want to talk about. But I can't. I don't want to do that because I still got to talk about the tax bees. See, that's the problem when you got a swarm in your head, folks. You guys out there with one bee in your head, you're so fucking lucky. You ever see like The Simpsons or some cartoon where they look inside of a guy's skull and just a chimp banging one cymbal? Or like there was a cartoon character, I can't remember who it was. This is like, because I mean, we all have this moment, but you guys out there who have this one bee in your head, you're slow, and that's good. I wish I was slow like you, but I'm not. I'm not slow. Well, I mean, because there's slow people listening to this fucking show, right? There's gotta be. How do you not? That's who I get. I mean, I get cool people and awesome people listening to the show, but then there's some people out there who aren't firing all fucking cylinders, and they listen to me because they're living vicariously through my nonsense.
Oh my god.
It's true. Come on, it's got to be true. I talked to my buddy David. You know what I did last week? Or I'll tell you this. You know what I did last week? Last week I put on Facebook and I wrote, I go, hey man, who wants to, should I do a show? All right, fuck, actually let's deal with all of this. So last week when Lily told me Tuesday there was no fucking show. Actually, I'm not sure if it was Lily. It may have been Cthulhu. I don't know who called me and left a message on my phone. It sounded like somebody had James Hetfield pinned underwater. I mean, it was that fucking awful. You know who called me last week? The boil on Lemmy Kilminster's face. That's who called me. That was the voice I heard. By the way, I got a Motorhead story I got to tell you. All right, so see the bees, the fucking bees. You know Nicolas Cage in The Wicker Man. The bees, the bees. Oh, there's so many bees today, folks. This week is full of bees. All right. So pick a thread. What was I talking about?
The taxes.
No, I was just finishing something about slow people.
No idea.
Right?
The cartoon that everyone should have seen.
Oh, okay. Well, just all right, because I envy those people. You see a dumb guy in a cartoon, and sometimes you envy him. You wish you were him. I wish I could be him. I would have no problems. You ever see that guy? You know you know what he is? Holy shit! He's like a bird. Who's he? What does he do? He goes. You know who that is? What is he? You were saying his name.
He sings. A baby bumblebee. That's what he sings.
Wait a minute.
Isn't that it?
What? Say it again. What did you just say? No. What did you say?
I'm picking up a baby bumblebee.
Bees. Yeah. Fucking bees. How amazing is that I would pull that dude? You know what it is? It's the picking up a baby bumblebee dumb cartoon character bee swooped to the front of my brain. It leaped to the front of the hive. Oh, I'm picking up a baby bumblebee. That's who it is. All right. I envy him. Because see, he says it right there. Bumblebee. He's got one bee to worry about. I got a hive. I got a whole fucking swarm of bees I got to control, and I can't. I'm all over the joint. No wonder I can't join a bee. Is there a network for bees? Maybe there's a bee network. You know, some network dude's going to listen to this show and go like, I can't even, what is he doing? I can't. If there was something called the Fuck It All Podcast Network, I would get a job offer immediately. Instead, everyone's like, hey, man, join our network and you can do a show that's like an hour and 1 second long and make sure there's plugs and we'll sell commercials. And it's like, who the fuck wants to sell a commercial for this show? I think I just talked about fucking a bee, didn't I? If I didn't, I'm getting there. I am getting there, folks. I would fucking destroy a bee if I fucked it. All right, so I would. I can't lie. I mean, I'm not packing, but a bee is getting finished. That made me laugh. Oh man. Let's talk about my cock for a second. Why not? Never mind. I had to call our friend Renee the other day and deal with him. That was fun. You know Renee, right? You don't remember Renee? How do you not remember Renee? Folks out there, do you remember Renee? Of course you do. Wait a minute, I was talking about something else. we gotta make the Renee bee go to the back. There was some other. We were talking before I got into the dumb dude.
Dumb dude, taxes. You told me you got a. Did you say a Dawkins story? No.
You are so out of it. That's great. I wish you could have seen her face when she said that, guys, because she's like, did you have a Dawkins story? I don't. She's all squinty, like her face is squinty because she can't fucking comprehend. You can't handle my bees.
You said you had a story about
You can't handle my bees.
the name of the show.
Sure it is. I had a Motorhead story, but I'll tell it later.
Not
all right.
Same fucking thing.
Sure it is, sure. Oh, I was going to deal with last week. That's what I was going to deal with. So let's deal with last week's bees. I was going to do the show last week, as you know, because I always do. And I called Lily on Tuesday to ask her what the heck was happening. And somehow Froggy from the Little Rascals answered the phone. She called that with that voicemail, whatever the fuck. And look, when I got that voicemail, I knew there wasn't even going to be, it wasn't even worth talking to her. You know what I mean? Honestly. Because, I mean, she was about to go on the road with Cannibal Corpse. And then just, it made no sense for me to have a conversation with her.
Oh my god.
It was bad. And, you know what she sounded like? She sounded what I would think that Eddie from Iron Maiden would sound like if he spoke. But only Eddie from the cover of Killers. It could not be any other incarnation of Eddie. If you heard her voice, you know that she specifically sounded like an axe-wielding Eddie under a streetlight. Jesus Christ. So, oh God, listen to her now. See, I got to get out of here. I can't be party to this. This is awful. She's just throwing germ bees all over me. I can feel my bees dying one by one in my head. I need my travel bees are very upset right now. They're huddled under the fucking illness tent in my head. All right. So I got the voicemail and I heard it, and because look, I will say this: there was no point in calling her for two reasons. All right. And I try to shut the fuck up, just talk. One, again, there was just no way I wanted to even deal with talking to her. But, fuck, I should put the voicemail in here so then you could hear why. Fuck it. Can you do that?
I have the technology.
This is the $6 million voicemail. All right, Oscar Goldman. All right, Lily Oscar Goldman. All right, well, fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's put it in the voice. So right now, we'll do it. Do we got to do it now? Or how do you work? I don't know how you work your magic. What the fuck do I need to do here?
Just go like this in the elevator.
All right. Hey, everybody. This was Lily's voicemail from last week.
Hey, it's me. No, there's not a chance I'm going to be able to record tomorrow. Even if I feel better, I've got to work on a costume for Saturday night. I'm hosting and performing. So no, tomorrow I'll either be in bed or I'll be in bed working on my costume. Just send me whatever show you want me to put up. I'm really sorry. Man, I'm fucked. I'm probably going to have to go to the doctor tomorrow, or not. Talk to you later. Bye.
Now you know what I knew. And now you're all going to be dead in 3 days. Because from the woman from the ring crawled out of Lily's throat into your ears over the fucking podcast. Because tell me that call didn't sound like it was coming from the bottom of a fucking well. Of course it was. So I heard that message, and like I said, I didn't want to call her for a couple reasons. One, because you heard it, right? That sounded like someone was killing a bear. So I wanted nothing to do with that. I could not call her, okay, because of the voice, and I knew there was no getting through to her, and she was miserable. I didn't want to talk to her. But there's another reason I didn't want to call her. And look, I try to be honest with you guys, and this is probably going to be bad, and this might get bad, but I don't care. I heard that message, and I was fucking pissed. I was so pissed. Maybe you can determine the exact part of the voicemail where I got pissed. Can you do that, folks? Can you go ahead and, if you want to rewind it, should we put it back in? Should we put it in a second time so they can listen to it again? No, you can't. You're not. Oh my God, what are you drinking? Baby food? Ensure? Oh, that's awful, right?
It is awful, but I can't keep my strength up otherwise right now.
I had to drink Pedialyte once when I was sick. When I had the swine flu, they had me drinking shit like that. It's just like, because you know why? Illness turns you into a baby. You completely regress into an infant state, and you can't move, and it's just everything you do is infantile, and you use the phone when you shouldn't. As Lily will tell you from last week. So I heard that message, and I was sad. I was upset for my friend because she sounded miserable and she sounded terrible. But I think we all know that I care about me above all. So I was fucking pissed off when I heard it. Go ahead and figure out exactly when. Here, I'll tell you when, folks. Here's when. When Lily called me from her grave. All right? When Lily was in a coffin, and her last phone call before she died and shuffled off this mortal coil was to tell me that she couldn't help me with my show, because she had to stay home and make her costume for her big performance on Saturday fucking night. Dudes, I'm sitting at my desk and I was ready, because again, if I would have called, it would have been a thing. Because this is not Lily's job, okay? This is my job. But unfortunately, Lily is integral to me doing my job. So when she begs off, I'm fucked. Because again, it's funny, I talk about how illness makes you sick, or illness makes you a baby. Well, having your thumb up in your ass and not being able to do the thing you're supposed to do makes you even worse. Because I felt like a dumb fuck at the house. I'm like, well, fuck, I don't even get to say a sentence or a paragraph. I can't, there's no new content because I'm out. I mean, I can't do it from my house. I mean, I actually went to Audacity. I'm like, how do I was going to download Audacity. And part of me is just like, how funny would it be to just try and attempt to record something and put that up like an asshole? Like, just put it up. Oh, dude, I thought about it. I was at the desk, but all of it would have been me fucking furious at you because you were building a costume to go to your goddamn thing on Saturday night. And I'm like, really? So this is... Because my show is again, it's not as important to Lily as it is to me. And that's not, I'm not saying that in an unfair way. I'm saying it because it's just true. It is the only thing I have. Lily has other things. Because it's like, this show to me is what the Monday Night Tease is to Lily. Like if you were to say, if the club went to Lily and went, yeah, you know, we're not letting you do the Monday Night Tease on Monday, she'd be fucking furious. She wouldn't know what the fuck to do. She'd understand it, but at the same time, you'd have that initial flash of anger, probably. Well, that's what happened to me, especially because if the club, what if the club came to you and said, hey, you can't use the club on Monday night? And you went, why not? And they go, well, we're just going to hang out and drink. And you'd be like, what the fuck? I understand that, but again, I'm a child. When you process information first, yeah. I turned into the fucking rage face guy from the internet where I'm like, fuck, because it's like, you're telling me, you know what, Mike, I can't help you because I'm much more important than you, and I have to take care of a costume because I have to go to a fucking dance on Saturday. And I'm like, dude, you can't, you won't, I can't, and then, but we, oh, fucking, I was so furious. So if I had called, it would have been, because this whole thing would have been over. I mean, it's like, because the last thing someone sick wants is an asshole calling and yelling at them, and then there winds up being a fight. Because again, I'm not an ogre. I understand. Because again, just hearing her voice, let's put it this way. If I just heard how sick she was, I would have just sat at home and gone, oh, because I was terribly sad and I'm worried about my friend. But then in the very next sentence to say, hey, I got to make my costume for Saturday night because I got a big dance number. Me and the kids are putting a show together out in the barn. Me and Marcia and Jen and Cindy, you know, Dad's bringing his boss over and then Alice is going to make a great spread. And whoopee, we're all having fun. Fuck that. I got bees to unleash. So I was pissed, man. I was fucking pissed. And it's that thing where you get pissed, that knee-jerk mad, and I sat there furious and fucking fuming, and I'm like, and then I'm just like, what are you doing? And I went to Audacity and tried to download that and figure that out. And then because it's that thing again where you're helpless. You're so helpless. And I was not helpless because of illness. I was helpless because of fucking laziness and fucking sloth. Because I've never learned how to do these things. I've never stepped up and I've never learned how to fucking run this program and do this myself just in case something bad happens. Because in my world, nothing bad ever happens, right? I know that nothing bad is ever going to happen. So why would I ever possibly try to better myself or learn something in case, of emergency? There's no emergencies in my life. I'm the fucking grasshopper, baby. Fuck all that. You ants, get out there and do your thing. You go and fucking collect crumbs, build your houses, go in your fucking trees. I'm just going to sit out here and dance around and sing and hang out with a fucking puppet. That's what I'm going to do. Well, that's a cricket. The cricket hung out with the puppet. The grasshopper fuck with the ants. The bees are in my head and they want to fucking get out. So unfortunately, Lily's a beekeeper. That's the thing is I have the bees, but Lily's the beekeeper. She trained him and she knows how to unleash them. I can unleash them, but she's the one who fucking lets it go. She opens the doors. She sends them out to the nation. I can unleash them anywhere I want. Look, I'm very familiar with unleashing the bees everywhere I am. However, the only way unleashing the bees gets to you, the only way the bees are unleashed into your ears are via Lily. Or perhaps via Lily, depending how you want to do it. So I was fucking pissed when I got that voicemail. But then I fucking grew out of it. After fucking 5 hours probably. I was fuming in my house, trying to think of alternatives. So what I did was I put up on I went to Facebook. And I wrote, hey, man, there is no show this week because I just talked to Lily and she vomited death all over me. And so that's not happening. So here's your choices. I can do a longer show, or I can do 2 longer shows, or 2 short shows and a long show, or I can just call everybody. Haha, fun. Well, people started to write on the Facebook wall because here was my idea. Here was the plan, folks. All right. Because once Lily said she was out and I knew I couldn't come here to do a real show, I decided I was going to do this. It was going to be the first show I ever did, episode 1, year 1. And then the first show I ever did with Lily, which I believe was episode 12, year 1. And then I was going to have a third show on there, and I'm trying to remember which one it was. And it was, so they were all, because I'm an idiot, the first show was only like 22 minutes long. And then the second show was an hour. So then I was going to throw a third one in there just to be an idiot. It would be long. And because I wanted people to go, why the fuck are there 4 hours of content if you couldn't see Lily? Because I thought that was fun. I thought it was a great idea. So I made that plan, and I asked people on Facebook, I'm like, what do you think? 2 short ones, a short one and a long one, blah, blah, blah. But I asked even though I kind of already knew what I wanted to do. And I said, I'll call everybody. So then people started posting on my wall. They're like, well, why don't you call us? Ha, 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 ha. So last week, anybody on my Facebook wall who wrote, why don't you just call us? I called them. I spent Tuesday night just calling people randomly. And by the way, it had to be people who on Facebook who had their phone numbers were listed, because I'm not going to do any fucking legwork for you idiots. I needed to. It was like, because people would do that. They'd be like, oh, give me a call. And then there would be no number. And I'd be like, you dumb fuck. How the fuck can I call you? You can't say call if there's no number. But then there are some people who ridiculously have their phone numbers on Facebook. So and the best part was like when someone would post that and I'd call them in 30 seconds. Like, as I was just sitting at my desk. So someone was like, ha, call. And I dialed the phone with, at first I made sure, of course, no, you got a private number. But I called a bunch of people last week at there. And here's my favorite part is like, people answer the phone and then I'm like, hi, is blah, blah, blah there? And they're like, yeah. And I go, hi, Mike Schmidt. And they're just like, what the, why? Oh my God. I go, hey, you said to call. Oh my God, I guess I did. I don't. And then and they get all weird. And then I bore them, and then I asked them what their vote was, and I told them what I planned on doing for the show, and they were very nice. But everybody was all kind of like, that thing where, because it would be just the same thing like I said, when Jay Leno called my house, it was the fucking weirdest thing in the world when I heard it. I'm not Jay Leno by any means. I'm certainly not famous, but you guys like what I do, so it's weird to hear from me, I would imagine. You're not expecting a phone call. You know who I hate? The people who just acted like it was a phone call they got from anybody in the fucking world. There were 2 people I called. I don't want to say gender, but 2 people I called, and they were like, hey. I go, hey, it's Mike Schmidt. And they go, hi. I go, huh? They're like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm calling you. Aren't you astonished? Shouldn't you fall to your knees and scream to the heavens or something? Mike Schmidt, the podcaster's calling you, goddammit. I'm unleashing my bees one-on-one. Normally, I have to unleash my bees in a death cloud that covers nations and globes. But right now, I'm unleashing my bees directly through you, and you're sitting there, you're not impressed? One guy's like, oh, I'm having a bad day. I'm like, I don't fucking care about your day. I don't care about your day at all. Your day just got better because Mike Schmidt, the podcaster, called you and unleashed his bees through his cell phone right into your fucking ear. No matter what the fuck bad is happening there, right now you've got fucking a ton of happy bees in your head. Huh? What? Oh, I thought you said that we stopped recording because I'm just yelling. I can't hear anything but me. Yeah, it was, so, I mean, but it didn't happen a lot. But boy, I'll tell you, that makes you want to stop calling people. I'll tell you, because I'm expecting everybody to be like, oh my God, this is great. And then you have like a nice phone call and then you run away as quickly as you possibly can. But the people are just like, yeah? Oh, fuck, I got to hang my phone up. I'm sorry I called you. But that's on me. That's my own fault. So I did. I called some people. And then I, like I said, I had my plan. So then I texted Lily and I'm like, hey, here's the plan for tomorrow. I want 3 shows. You don't have to edit anything. You don't have to do anything. Just stack them up. Just put them one after the other because you don't have to crossfade, whatever the fuck. We'll go with the same music. It'll just be, and keep in mind you, that I know Lily is somewhere knitting a stripper shawl. All right. I mean, she's putting rhinestones on a G-string at this point. And I'm like, so I'm writing her a note. I'm like, look, I'm sorry and I wanted to be a smart ass about it, but I didn't. But I want to go, look, I'm really sorry to interrupt your busy schedule as you draw Grover's face on pasties. However, here's the show. It's going to be easy. It's easy to take 3 episodes and stack them up, and it should be fine. Just plug them right in. Well, here's something I will tell you, folks. When I downloaded Audacity at my house, I didn't really read how it works. So I thought you just plugged sound files into it and hit a button, and you were done. Everything was fine. Because as I've told you many, many times, folks, I just talk, all right? I show up here, I talk, and magically my voice comes out the other side. All of my bees are unleashed on you folks. So I told Lily, I'm like, yeah, just stack them up. You don't have to do any crossfading. It doesn't have to even, just fucking, honestly, just drop them right in. Clunk, there they are. And she didn't even call me that time. Probably because she was very busy making a hat. But it took about an hour, and then she texted me back, and she's just like, you don't understand. That's hours of work. Like, I have to import those files, and I have to re-encode them, and I have to connect them, and it's even more work than if I was doing a regular show. You don't understand the hours that are this.
Not quite right, but it's close enough.
No, it's come on. I could read it. I think I still have it, actually. But what was funny is the palpable desperation that I could hear coming through the phone. Like, just tears actually leaked out of the speaker. And she was so horrified by the concept of having to put 3 shows into one thing and having to actually, because she told me, she's like, I can't even sit up, dude. I can't sit up to get to the computer and do any work. And I don't know from that, because I don't get sick. I mean, I'm pretty good about it. And I shouldn't say that now, because fuck. Because, you know what I mean? I got to get the fuck out of here. I'm not even joking. Like, it's like my bees are unleashed and I need to just fucking wrap this the fuck up. Because I don't want to even take any more chances about being sick. Because I've been hermetically sealed in my apartment because Karen got sick. Karen was sick for a week. Bad. And somehow I avoided it then. Because, like, you know why? I'm fucking Superman. That's why. I was going to call you folks, but I called you fucks. How terrible is that? You know why, folks? Because I'm fucking Superman. That's what I wanted to say. Because I can't be harmed by your earth germs. Fuck all that. All of my sick centers are surrounded by a thick layer of protective bees. I can't possibly get ill. Save this part. All right. I can't be here. I can't be getting ill. So Lily sent me this text, and she's like, "That's more work than." And dudes, how mad was I when I read that? Like, I was so. I spent last week so fucking angry at Lily, just like mad and like, oh my, are you fucking serious? Just put the shows in the fucking thing and close the box. That's it. Open the box, put the 3 shows in the box, close the box, and hit send. Whatever the fuck you got to do. Fucking coding, fuck re-encoding, fuck all that bullshit. They're done. They're fully formed. Just jam them in. It's like, you know what? It's not even, you don't have to cook anything. You just jam shit in a bowl. It's like Epic Mealtime. You ever see Epic Mealtime? They always make these fucking things. Well, all they do is they take fast food sandwiches and put them in a pie crust. Well, you didn't really make anything, motherfucker. All you did was put bacon and fucking fillet of fish in a goddamn pie crust and called it a sandwich. Good for you. But it's not like you are chefs. You just make a bunch of shit. That's weird. You're like the Nazis of food. Like, you're experimenting. You're like the Joseph Mengeles of fast food. That's what you do. So that's what Lily is. She's the Joseph Mengele of podcast producers. Just take my show, stitch it together Human Centipede style, and jam it into the box and hit send. So episode 1's ass to episode 14's mouth, and then so episode 14's ass to whatever other episode I was going to pick's mouth, and then just jam them the fuck together. There you go. Boom. The fucking podcast centipede, and hit send. Done. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to get up. You do it one-handed. Use your other hand to fucking sew a doily or whatever the fuck you're doing for your goddamn rodeo show, whatever you've got coming up this weekend. That's infinitely more important than having me come to your house and fucking record a goddamn show. Yes, I know you got to get up on a stage and do a kick line with 9 of your fucking friends under a dim light somewhere while 9 guys play pool in the back of the fucking room. But do my goddamn show. Just do it one-handed. I don't fucking care. Just get it up there. God, I was fucking pissed. But what do? There's nothing I can do. What am I going to do? You're fired. And then when I can turn to you guys, hey, is anybody out there got any spare time? Just let me sit in their fucking house. No. Nobody does. You didn't even like it when I called you. It was a nice balance. Again, there was like 8 people who were like, this is awesome. And then there were like 3 people who were like, yeah? What? I got kids. What the fuck are you calling me for? So brutal. At that point, you just want to run. Like, I want to just pretend that bad movie thing where you're like, I can't hear you. I'm losing the call. Click. Terrible. Because there's nothing worse than insinuating yourself into someone's life and they don't appreciate it at all, even though they should because you're the fucking best. All right. So I was fucking mad, so fucking pissed at Lily because I didn't know what the fuck to do at that point. So I called Max and I'm like, yeah, the show is just going to be, I'm going to pick a show. And I said, do you have any input on it? He's like, nah, whatever. He had an idea that he liked, but I couldn't do it because it didn't, whatever the fuck, who cares? So then I sent Lily the episode for last week that I picked. I went and I looked and I picked that one. And the more alert listeners of you will realize that there was a little bit in the episode about a woman who gives the world cholera and winds up killing all of them. That might have been on purpose. All right. So I sent it to Lily and I'm like, here you go. This is the show. That's fine. And that night I got a text from her saying that it was going to go up, and then she called and I started to play. I played the show as it uploaded, and I heard Van Halen. And that was, flat out, that's complete year one. Because those of you who are new to the show and anybody who buys any of the back episodes, year one, I used all real music. Year one, Van Halen opened like 50 of the 52 episodes, and then the end song was a song that had to do with the subject matter of the show. And I actually really liked that format because it was fun for me. You know who didn't like it? My producers, by the way. I should tell you that. Lily and Eric. Because I would tell them, I'll get to you later and tell you what the music's going to be. So then I would go home because music's important to me, and I wanted it to match the mood of the show and also to match something that I'd been in the story. So I would take like 3 hours to fucking pick the music. And Lily would be like, are you going to give me this fucking closing music yet? And I'd be like, yes. And then Lily would have to take that song, and we'd play the whole song as the out, but in the beginning she'd have to cut the Van Halen tune, and sometimes it would be in the middle of the Van Halen song, so it wasn't just from the beginning. I'm an idiot, folks. This is why you don't want this job. This is why there's no reason for me to get mad at Lily, because she's done this job flawlessly for fucking 4 years, 5 years, and what am I going to do? Get pissed and find somebody else who's going to deal with my fucking crazy? No, that's not going to happen, ever. I should have Karen produce the show. How great would that be, right? We wouldn't be dead soon.
Oh, man.
All right. So, Van Halen plays when I hear the episode, and I'm because Lily's on the phone with me. And I said, I go, Van Halen played. I go, you know what, we're going to have to, I go, when we do package the episodes at the end of the year for sale, we'll have to change that. And she goes, I can't even do the impression. Like, I was going to do an impression of her talking, but I can't because I think I would have to be taken to the hospital after I fucked my throat up. But she was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, Van Halen is on there. We can't sell them with the real music, so we'll have to substitute in the theme song. She's like, and look, you think I was mad at Lily for, I was mad at Lily for, having to sew a fucking garter for some bullshit show that, and again, it's not a bullshit show. I'm just saying that because knee-jerk anger. But I was mad at her for having to sew this and build a scarf and not being able to stitch my show. Literally, she can't stitch my shows together, but she can stitch her fucking costume together. And then also the fact that I couldn't even do a show. You think I was mad? That was nothing. Nothing compared to the rage and anger and hatred Lily had for herself when I told her that she would have to change the Van Halen song. And she's like, why the fuck is it in there? What the fuck? I knew I should have fucking gotten it myself. I knew I should have done. I go, what are you talking about? It's fine. It works. It's a rerun. That's the whole point. We named the show Rerun, and Mex created a picture of Rerun because it's a rerun. So it should be in its natural state. And I'm trying to talk her down, and I'm pissed at her. Remember? I'm fucking mad. But no, I'm putting because I don't even know what she's going to do with herself. She could maybe leap off a bridge. I don't know what the fuck she's got going on, but I know that she's in no mood. And so she starts fucking, I could practically hear her punching herself like through the phone. And she's like, stupid, stupid. You know what it was like? It was like Monty Python when there's the dirty fucking knife in the restaurant and the chef comes out and he stabs himself and everybody goes fucking crazy. And then Graham Chapman looks at the camera and he goes, lucky I didn't mention the dirty fork. Exactly. So Lily had the dirty knife that she was dealing with, and the last thing I'm going to do is going to bring up the dirty fork because she's going crazy over the Van Halen. I go, look, it's okay. I go, besides, I'm not going to sell this one anyway. It doesn't make any sense because it's already in year one. It would just be a repeat episode, and there's no new content. So just yank it. When we do this, when we do it, you don't. She's like, no, I'll rebuild it. And then, of course, as you do when you get mad at yourself, you start to self-flagellate. So you start to come up with terrible things for yourself to do. So she's like, no, I'll rebuild it. And I'll put in the new theme song, and then we can re-record it, and then you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll hand deliver it to everybody's house. I'm like, dude, calm down. It's okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll stay up and I'll do it now. I don't care if I die. I don't care if I die while I'm doing it. And you know what? Fuck my costume and forget the show and forget everything and fucking you guys. And oh my God, stop. It's okay. If everybody hears Van Halen once, we'll just pull the episode. I wouldn't sell it anyway because that's cheating. I can't sell the same episode twice in 2 different sets. That makes no fucking sense. I knew I shouldn't have let you send it. What do you mean you shouldn't? You told me to send it. No, I shouldn't have used yours. I have the file on my computer. Oh my God, I should have taken the file from the computer and gone ahead and used that because then we wouldn't have the Van Halen. We just have the old theme song and it wouldn't be a fucking problem. And then I wouldn't have to fucking do all this goddamn work over again. And you wouldn't be fucking yelling at me. Oh my God, stop. It's okay. And again, I'm mad. I'm still pissed at her, but I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. It's like if a dog bit you and you had to pet it and put it to sleep. It's like fucking crazy. You're furious at it, but you're like, calm down. No, it's okay. It's fine. Dog, I don't mind if I die of rabies. Pet you, sleep. And by the way, I think I said you have to pet it and put it to sleep. Not put it to sleep, like get it to sleep. I mean, I don't want people to think that I'm ready to snuff Lily out. Because again, if I do that, who the fuck takes up the mantle? Who goes ahead and steps up? There's not a soul among you who can handle my bees like Lily can handle my bees. I don't know. The say something stupid bee flew to the front of my head at that point. You can't handle my bees.
Oh.
You want my bees on that wall? You need my bees on that wall. So that brings me to today when Lily's like, hey, come on over and do a show, and I'm okay. And then we were talking about the taxes on the phone, and I said, look, there's this note. Remember, you're supposed to write that letter in August. And she's like, oh, no problem. Bring the sheet of paper. And luckily, I know right where that is. Because though I may not handle these things, folks, I do keep a neat desk. So I know where everything is. And that envelope that she's talking about is firmly ensconced in the pile called Things Other People in My Life Handle. That's right there, prominent on my desk. And it is actually, it's most of my desk is that pile. I will not lie to you folks. My pile consists of my wallet and the mouse for the computer. That's it. That's what I handle. So I grab the envelope and I go to bring it here, and I get here. And again, I haven't seen Lily in 2 weeks, and I hope that she's okay. I was calling her today to find out if she needed medicine or juice. I get here, and her boyfriend, the clown, answers the door, our friend Eddie, and he goes to shake my hand, and I refuse. Politely, I give him a Howie Mandel fist bump because I am Howie Mandel at this point. Because again, folks, I do not want to be infected. So I get in, and Lily's here. And I should also, you know what, I'll go into this real quick. This is the first time I've seen Lily in a couple weeks. Last time I saw Lily was at her gallery opening. She did a burlesque, the private burlesque showing at her gallery opening. And Karen and I went to the show. And it was cool. A lot of people were there that we knew. The Snappers were there. And there were people that were performers that I knew, but then there were also people who had donated to the show and people who are part of the burlesque community. It was fun. It was a good time. Karen and I went and got some Korean food. Then we popped back for the show. We hung out with Kilt Bill, who's a fan of this show, and he was a donator, and he came out to the show. And it was fun. Had a good time. There was a red carpet and a whole display. And I was in the picture, like on the periphery. I don't know if you can see me. Lily posted some of the photos online, but it was my fault because I didn't get over there fast enough before all the cameras got put away. But I went to this burlesque festival show, and there was also a burlesque performance with our friends. I think April Showers danced, and Caramel Knowledge, and Red Snapper. Well, I'll get to that in a second. I sort of know these people, you know what I mean, as people. Like, I mean, I know their real names, and I can say hi to them. Not April Showers. I don't know her. She wouldn't have anything to do with me. But also in the show, there was a girl named Nikita Bitch Project. Now, I think I may have mentioned her on this show. But I come into the show and I'm there hanging out, and Karen and I are walking around. We're saying hi to people. There's pictures on the wall that were amazing, and I walk in and Lily's in full entertainment Lily mode. And for some reason, there's another burlesque dancer trailing her and echoing everything she says. It's the weirdest. Lily is showing picture. All right, there's a group of people, and there are pictures on the wall, and Lily is telling the people when the picture was taken, what context, who the person is, and all that stuff. And then another burlesque dancer will just follow up Lily's thing and go, yeah, and then start telling her them more about the night or about herself. It was the weirdest thing I ever saw. Am I supposed to be saying this or no?
I don't know who that is.
Can I say?
Sure.
Dizzy.
Oh, did she really?
Uh-huh. Literally, you were showing people a photo.
She was so drunk that night. She was so fucking funny.
Well, Dizzy danced. She wound up dancing later, but my favorite part of her night was when she would basically, you would finish telling people stuff, and then she would go, yeah, I remember that night. And she would recount a tale of her night. And it's like, nobody cares what you have to say. I mean, you're really nice, and I like you, and you're my friend, but we're done with this photo and moving on. But I could not understand why she was joined at your hip, and she decided that she was your gallery assistant. It was the fucking strangest thing ever. So I don't know. Spotlight, who fucking knows? Everybody.
I didn't notice that because I was drunk too.
You'd had a few, but you were also full on entertainment, Lily. Like you do that, you're in tunnel vision, man. You don't fucking see what's happening around you, which is why I tell you need bouncers in the club, because you're worried about the show, and guys could be stabbing one another in the back of the club, and you wouldn't give a shit. You'd be watching the dancers and make sure that the stockings were getting picked up properly. Because you run a tight fucking ship, show-wise. I mean, you're aware of what's going on all over the fucking place, but at the same time, your whole goal is to do a good show. So your whole goal that night was to make sure that people had the information about the photos and get them across. And then Dizzy would just tap dance in and go, by the way, I remember when I was there. It was just like... And with anecdotes that mean nothing. Like, you're like, this is a great picture of this, and here's the context. And then Dizzy's like, I remember when I was a kid. What the fuck are you talking about?
Did she really?
Not that bad, but it was still... But it made me laugh that she was like, you remember like on Welcome Back Kotter when there was Carvelli and there was the black dude? She was the black dude. You were Carvelli. Like you were Carvelli and you'd be like, see this picture? This is the picture when me and the Sweat Hogs told Mr. Kotter to get bombed. And then Carvelli, you hear what Carvelli said? He said, this is the picture when you told the Sweat Hogs to get, whatever the fuck.
She was Freddie Boom Boom Washington?
No, there was a black dude who hung out with Carvelli. They didn't give him a name. He was just the black dude who hung out with Carvelli. Look at the credits. They're animals, Kotter. All right. Animals got it. All right, so we walk into that. We walk into the Lily and Dizzy floor show, and I'm expecting the Lily show. I did not expect the Dizzy attachment, the Dizzy fucking embellishment, but that was fine. So I'm standing there, trying not to talk to people. I won't lie. I mean, I'm like, because I'm not part of that scene. I'm part of that scene through Lily. And then, you guys, some of you donated, which was nice, and I got to talk to you. And then I know some of the dancers, and they're cool. But then a lot of those people there are just there to wear ties. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people in that burlesque crowd who are just like, it's just hats with legs underneath them. You know what I'm talking about? I'm being serious. There's posers everywhere, all right? There's posers in comedy. There's posers in acting. This whole town is Poserville. But the burlesque community, you get in there and sometimes it's just a bunch of dudes who really want to show off their wallet chain. You know what I mean? It's just walking irony, and it gets tiresome because I can't, because then there are some, Patrick's a genuine guy. I like Patrick, and there's some people that I like, but then there are just a bunch of phone. You know what it looked like to me? You know what it was? It was like Dr. Frankenfurter's party at the fucking castle. When you come in and there's all those people there in the shitty tuxedos and the fucking too tight clothing, and the fat guy like licks the whipped cream off the girl's finger. It was just that. It was a room full of people who were there to be seen, and Lily was fucking Frankenfurter. That was who it was. Unfortunately, Dizzy was Meatloaf, so she kept jumping in and bump, 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 bump. She fucking came out, and then I was surprised that Lily didn't chop her to death with an axe. And then Karen and I show up, and we're Brad and Janet. Because I don't belong in that I know those people sort of, but I don't care how my makeup looks. And that was a room full of people who cared how their makeup looked.
Oh my God.
So we get there, we talk. I wind up attaching myself to Bill. Poor Bill. I mean, I only know Bill because he's coming to see me do comedy. He's coming to see me. He saw me do the one man a couple of times. And So I just see a friendly face, and I'm like, hey, Bill, how are you? Let's talk forever. And by the way, Bill's in a kilt. So it's like he doesn't get off in this fucking scenario at all. He's kilt Bill because he wears a fucking kilt everywhere. So he fits right in with the Frankenfurter crowd. There's a light over at the Frankenstein place, and it's on because Bill needs to put his kilt on. You know how to put a kilt on, right? You put one foot in front of the other. And soon you're putting your kilt on across the floor. You put one foot in front of the other, and soon you're wearing a kilt and walking out the door to a pretentious fucking party where Dizzy won't leave you alone. All right, so I'm at this party, and these fucking people are there. And I like Dizzy. Again, by the way, let's just get that out of the way. I like Dizzy, but it just made me laugh that she kept swooping in. And then I attached myself to Bill in his kilt. And because, again, he's the lesser of all the evils in the room. At least he's a fucking weirdo who likes me. The other weirdos are just there to be weird and get fucking looked at, and they're just waiting for fucking Rocky to be unveiled. So, I'm there.
I'm sorry I invited you.
Hey, I paid to get in that fucking door. There was no invite necessary. Mr. Ben Franklin paid for me a couple of times. He was my invitation. So, anyway, so I showed up there, and Lily's there, and it took her 7 days and 7 nights to make me a man, which was fine. Great Scott. So I'm there. This is funny to one person. One person in the world is Lily. Yeah, thank God. Thank God she's here. It works out perfectly.
Don't kill me.
Release the dogs. All right.
Don't worry.
I'll just do that. I'll just do that all day. All right. We can have elbow sex. All right, so stop making fucking Rocky Horror references. So I'm there, but if you would have seen this place, you would have known. You would have known it was exactly what I felt like. So Karen and I are Brad and Janet. We walk in, and then I attach myself to Kilt Bill, and then Karen attaches herself to Patrick and Andrew. She's talking to Andrew too. Again, I like these guys; they're good guys. But then, I'm talking. And I feel something next to me, like someone's next to me. Like you know how they get that thing where someone's waiting to talk to you? And so I'm waiting, and I'm talking, and I turn around, and I look, and just standing next to me in her Gogo Yubari Japanese schoolgirl outfit is Nikita Bitch Project. And she's just standing there, and she's got like a little pouty face on. And I should tell you, I've been in the room with her before. I saw her at a burlesque show. I may have mentioned that on here. When I hosted Tarantino, she was in the show then, and I didn't get to meet her. And then when I was at the show a couple of weeks ago, it wasn't. It was the Christmas show. We went on Christmas Eve, I think, and that was the one I talked about that on here. I think I mentioned it. And so. I've never officially met her. You know, I've been in a room, and I'm standing there, and she's at my elbow with her little. She's got kind of like a squinty face and like pouty, it was the face. This sentence explains that face. I got a bone to pick with you. So I look at her, and she's looking up at me, and I go, and I've never formally been introduced to this woman. I don't know her. I mean, I know who she is, certainly. I think I may have mentioned that on here. But she's 5'0", wearing a Japanese schoolgirl outfit. I mean, and so I look at her, and through her bangs, I see her eyes, and she's squinty-eyed staring at me. And in fairness, that might have just been her normal face. Anyway. She showed up at my house with Via Garosa. He was stitching a sombrero up, and she was making a fucking one of those rice patty hats.
Oh my Christ.
So, why is he stitching up a sombrero? Who knits a sombrero? Via Garosa, you're not a true Mexican. You buy a sombrero from a kid in the street for 5 chiclets. That's what you do. Actually, you buy chiclets from a kid in a sombrero. I got it all mixed up. And then your friend gets stabbed with a hot dog fork. Don't go to Tijuana. So I look, and there's this fucking Japanese schoolgirl just staring up at me, little pouty face. And she goes, I hear you talk about me on your show.
Really? You're going to do the accent? Seriously? Oh my God.
Let's go back. No, that's fine. No, it's okay. I thought about it the second it came out of my mouth. We should go back. No. Because also part of me, you know what I was going to say? I wanted to go, what accent? Are we going to do that?
Oh my god.
Okay. I hear you talk about me on your show. No, I don't even know that she knows who the fuck I am or that I have a show. I don't know any of that. But so yeah, so I hear you talk about me on your show. So which is weird. I mean, it's just fucking weird because now it's like you guys, when I call you think it's fucking strange. Like I talk, I come here and it's me and Lily and I talk into the microphone, whatever the fuck happens. And then I go home and I don't even think about it. Again, I haven't even listened to the show. I don't listen. And that's why when people write stuff on my Facebook wall and they'll write stuff, I'll go, did I say that? I'm hilarious. Cause I don't even know. And I have thought about in the past of like real people wherever here. Cause I mean, I talked about another dancer on here once for a long time and then nothing, thank God. I was like, all right, good. But I guess someone who listens to the show, a burlesque person or whatever, let her know that I may have mentioned her on the show at some point. And I said, yeah. I go, oh, wow, you heard that. And she's again got that pouty face. And she's just gorgeous. And you just want to scoop her up and walk away with her or just put her on your face. And so what was funny is then, I'm at a complete disadvantage there. Because, I don't know anything about this girl. I mean, I just, all I know is all the fucking bullshit that I said about her. And I know the fact that she's like crazy hot and she's standing next to me, like kind of, busting my balls. And so we talked a little bit and it was fun. It was weird. All right. I won't lie. It's weird because I don't know what to say. I mean, what do you just say? Yes, you're dirty. And of course you heard that I carry lust for you in my heart. I mean, like that's not good party talk. That's terrible party talk. That's barely end of the party talk, honestly.
Oh my god.
And I can tell you this, it's certainly awful party talk when your wife is 5 feet away, who also hasn't listened to your show. Because my instinct, because all right, this will sound awful. And I'm going to say this. Please know that I don't mean it like this, but as a guy, as a man, this is what you think. All right, because all that stuff that I said, and she still came up and talked to me.
Oh my god.
Makes you think that maybe she wasn't so upset about it. And probably wouldn't mind exploring talking about it a little further. And again, I know that's not the case. And I know that's absolutely not true. And that's just how she is. Because again, like I said on the last show, she was just dirty, period. With strangers and friends alike. That was her. She's absentmindedly tugging on her nipples, for fuck's sake. I talked about that. But then the fact that she would come up to me and want to talk about it. And here's the thing, too, I should tell you. She was like, and this will probably sound like a bad choice of words, but she was honored that I did that. So she tells me that, and she said that she really liked it, and she's like, go ahead and talk about me anytime you want, and we wind up talking. And again, it gets to that point where in my head I'm going, and again, just as a man, and my game is fully retired. It's on a shelf. It's gone. But if I had brought it to that party, could I have used it in some way? Because I'm like a punch-drunk fighter, all right? It's like I'm retired and I'm on the shelf. But, if someone gets in your face, muscle memory takes over and you kind of start going through the dance. Because it felt like the dance was starting, and that's weird. It was fucking weird, man. Because, again, she came up to me and she wouldn't stop talking, and she kind of hung out. And believe me, I didn't want her to stop talking. I'm like, please stay, a gorgeous Japanese girl who's tiny and I can't stop thinking about sometimes. But at the same time, you don't want to say that, but I said that already on the fucking show, so she heard it. Like when you meet somebody in a bar and you go through all the bullshit and you're buying drinks and because the whole thing, all you're thinking is I'm gonna fuck this chick. That's all you're thinking, okay? And then when they continue to talk with you, it's like, you know what it is? Fucking a girl is like Get Smart. You know the opening when he's got to go through all the doors? There's the fucking phone booth and then the door and the door and the door and the door. When you're talking to a girl at a bar and you're trying to get in her fucking pants, it's all about getting through the doors and getting to the fucking headquarters and getting under the cone of silence and talking to the chief with your face buried between fucking 99's legs. That's what it is. When you're trying to pick up a girl, it's just like the opening Get Smart. Phone booth, door, 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 and eventually you're under the cone of silence with your face between 99's legs. Done. So I'm already through the fucking doors with Nikita. I'm already through. I went through all the fucking doors. Now we're under our cone of silence at the party. What the fuck do I do about that? Because I'm not even a secret agent anymore. I turned in my badge and my gun and my shoe phone and I'm out. So I'm standing there. I don't know what the fuck to do. Because initially, you know, like I said, we're having fun and all that, and it's fine. And look, I can be friends with women. We're all friends with women, but it doesn't matter. We want to fuck those women. Of course we do. Guys do. You say, don't say they don't. Seriously, don't say they don't. I'm the one in the room with a dick, believe it or not. No matter what you sounded like on that phone call, I'm the one here with balls. The initial thought is always, I'm going to fuck that chick. And then it goes away. If you become friends with them, that's fine. But if that girl looked at you and went, hey, you know what? Let's cash this friendship thing and just go for one night of fucking, let's just go for broke. You'd be like, yep. Yep. Let's do some fucking damage and say goodbye. I'm firmly in the Harry camp. Take that, Sally. So she comes up to talk to me, and that's fine. And then we hang out, and I'm attached to you know, it's funny. There are pictures online. You can go on Facebook, or there's some blog. A guy took a bunch of photos, and you can see me. I'm hiding behind Bill, like the whole time in every picture. I'm literally. You can see my head over Bill's shoulder, just like, yes, Kilt Bill is here because he's waiting to go ahead and see if Magenta slides down the banister, but I am not interested. So the you know, we see the pictures. Eddie's tending bar, and you know what's funny is it was in an art gallery down in Los Angeles, and you know, there's the burlesque crew there, but then there's the gallery people that are there. And I met a couple of them. They seemed nice. One guy had a restaurant recommendation for us. It was Armando, I think was his name. Yeah, he seemed nice. And then there was a little guy running around who was auditioning for, apparently he thought there was a casting session for gay guys for reality shows, because he was just flitting about, and he was shorter than Nikita. He might have been 4 feet tall, and I don't care. He was mincing about like he was. I mean, he was playing the role. Well, I know he wasn't gay, but I'm saying he was flitting about, like checking on people's drinks and all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, he was a pussy hound, because it's like he would not leave the girls alone. He kept, every time there was a girl, and I say this because, all right, I'll get to that in a second, but he was flitting about, and he's going through, and he's like, you know, he's checking on everyone, and he was being very accommodating, but he was also being kind of pushy, like, you know, hey, like, throw your cup away, or, you know, hey, you're gonna finish that cracker. Like, it was that kind of dude. It was like, dude, you know, and he wasn't saying that to me, he was saying it to other people, but it was making me mad. But he had like 4 of his friends there, because there was strange pussy on display. So I'm sure he called his friends and was like, you guys aren't going to believe this. Come on by. Well, tell me I'm wrong. What's up?
He works for the gallery.
That guy does. Right, but he brought like 3 dudes with him.
No.
Who were they?
Those are 3 photographers from Paris.
And they hung out with that dude?
Yes, because they were there visiting the gallery.
Fuck that. There's trim in the room. Leave that dude alone to go clean up crackers, for fuck's sake, Frenchies. Grab some photos of the quality ladies that are walking around and quit talking to that guy who's freshening up my drink. Because they were really interested in the girl. So I just felt like it was him and his 3 friends, and they were just kind of pigged, because they would buttonhole a girl into the corner and just start, do you want anything? You want a Trisket? Nobody wants a Trisket. She's naked. Leave her alone. So we parcel off and we separate, and we go to start the show. And Lily stands on a box and does a very nice job of introducing people. And our first act is, of course, Nikita Bitch Project, who comes down and does her, you know, go-go routine. And it was so funny to me because, look, I don't know from burlesque, all right? I just know that I go to these clubs and they put on the shows on a stage or in a club, but it's very much like comedy where if you got a fucking microphone, you got a comedy show. Doesn't matter where the fuck you are. If you got three guys who are willing to tell jokes and a microphone, you got a show. Ideally, there would be an audience to listen to those jokes, but you don't fucking really need that. I've found out in my years in comedy. If you got a microphone and you got guys, willing to talk into it, you got a comedy show. Well, with burlesque, you don't even need that. If you got a floor, you got a burlesque show. Honestly, it's nice to have music, but you could have a bunch of fucking, French photographers banging spoons on a wall, and you got a goddamn rhythm, and you're in. You got a show. So Go-Go comes out and does her thing. Nikita dances around, and then, and I should tell you this. There was this. Lily told me, she's like, hey, it's kind of done in this private thing. So some of the girls might go a little further than they usually do because, at the Monday Night Tease, it's pasties and G-strings. But some girls are interested in doing more than that or taking off more than that. So Lily's like, that might happen, but I don't know if it's going to. So, and I mentioned that here on the show as a selling point, which I should not have done. I sound like an ass. There might be boobs. Come to the show. Idiot. It's an art form. Just ask the four guys in fake eyelashes. They'll tell you. Talk to the guy in the 1776 British red coat waistcoat. He knows it's an art form. He's not there to be seen. Talk to the guy who has "look at me" stenciled into the side of his head. So we're there, and the show starts, and Nikita does her thing, and then April Showers does her thing. And I should say, so Nikita comes out to do her dance, and I'm waiting for her to get naked. In my mind, because not like she's not naked already in my brain, but still, just to be able to see it, just because and look, I've been in a billion strip clubs, and I've seen a million naked chicks, which sounds like those strip clubs were understaffed. Honestly, folks, I'm the greatest. I really am. Holy shit. In the moment. All right. Woefully understaffed. A billion clubs with only a million dancers? Holy shit, HR. Start bumping up the dancing roster. How tired are those chicks? Get them some help. No wonder they're not making any money. They're half fucking dead. They finish their thing. They go out. They make $5 in a lap dance. They're back on stage. Hire some feature dancers, you fucks. There's a billion of you. Put your heads together. Oh, every once in a while the genius bee flies to the front. All right. So I'm waiting for Nikita to get naked. It's nicer when they're naked. That's all I'll say. I mean, I enjoy art and girls in Japanese schoolgirl outfits, but it's even better when they take that off and they're naked underneath. But she did not get completely naked. But she went to G-string and pasties, and then did the tassel trick. And I tell you what, here's how I know I'm not psychic and I have no mental powers whatsoever, because I desperately concentrate on the pasty to fly off when they're doing the tassel trick. I mean, I said every brainwave I fucking have, I concentrate, my bees get in a single file line in my head. All of the buzzing stops and everybody collapses into formation, and I concentrate, and yet the tassels never fly off. Actually, I shouldn't say never, because they have. And there was one time where I was really wanting it to happen, and it did. And I was like, wow, that's when I thought I had the power. That's when I thought I had the tassel removal power, and so to this day I will concentrate on waiting for the tassel to come off, and then it does not. But that one glorious time, oh Ariel, you know. So I had a good vantage point on that one too. I was behind her when that happened. All right. So, and you wouldn't think behind her would be a good thing, but she was on her knees bent backwards, like that type of thing. Whatever, you don't care. Actually, you do care. Everybody cares. So, the fuck was I talking about? So yeah, so she goes down to G-string and pasties, and her tassel does not fly off, unfortunately. I mean, it did in my head, but not in real life. So she finishes, and then the next dancer was our friend April Showers, and April comes out dressed like Jack Sparrow for some reason, and she did. Even though I honestly thought it was a Jack Sparrow thing, but it was a Dirty Diana thing. So she was dressed like Michael from the Dirty Diana video with it's a puffy shirt. It's a peasant pirate puffy shirt. It's a lot of P's in that shirt. I do not think it was polyester, but it was a puffy white thing with a black belt. And is that gray for the bit, or is that gray in her hair? Ooh, that's nice. She has a real pile of like black corkscrew twisty curls, and she's got gray running through it, and it looks fucking amazing, silver gray. And in my head I was like, because that's why I thought she was a pirate, because when she came out with her pirate clothes on, or Jack Sparrow clothes, and then the hair was with the gray, I was like, well, is she gonna do an old pirate? What is there gonna be a sea shanty coming out? I don't want to fucking hear that. I'm not an old sea dog. But then Dirty Diana started, which I will not lie to you, way up the list compared to sea shanties for me with musical choices. Certainly for stripping.
Oh my god.
I want, you know what? I want to do a sea shanty, but I can't even think of one. Shanty? She comes out to dance. She does her thing, and April's, attractive. And she does her thing, and that's great. But her tassels stay on, and there's no nakedness. I won't lie. I mean, I'm there, because there's art on the walls, but I want to see like living art in front of me, and also I'm more disappointed that my powers don't work. That's the thing that's a drag. The fact that it doesn't happen is incidental to the fact that my fucking psychic powers have never worked other than that one time. So she dances and she takes off, finishes her thing, and I'm starting to get a little antsy, folks. I was promised some skin. I wasn't really promised skin, and I'm not really that antsy, but I was. Our friend Red Snapper is next. Is that correct? Red Snapper goes up on stage to dance. And let me tell you about Red Snapper. I know Red Snapper as a person. I would say her real name here, but that might be a scandal. But I know her as a human being. I don't know her just as a dancer, as an icon, as a performer, as a slab of meat and heels. I know her as a breathing human being. She's been in my home. She's done my taxes. And then decided not to anymore for some reason. I don't know why. But she went on to a bigger and better things like this. So she comes out to dance, and she does a Susie Homemaker type of thing where she's wearing this big taffeta fucking dress like from the 50s. She looks like Ellen Green from Little Shop of Horrors in the fantasy sequence where she's married to Rick Moranis. Go look that up. Like one of those big kind of puffy poodle, like a 50s dress. And she's got her hair up, done in a bun, and she's got gloves on, and she's a prim and proper 50s woman. But then, and the music is fitting it. It's like some fucking, I don't know, Sinatra. I don't know what it is. But it's very 50s and very, she's a good housewife. And then in the middle of it, there's like a zoop, and then Single Ladies jumps in. Beyonce. Wasn't it Single Ladies? Or no, it was Crazy in Love. Look, it's been 3 weeks, folks. I can't remember everything. So it was Crazy in Love, and she does this thing, of course, where she, like, her shoulder gets possessed by Crazy in Love, and she does kind of like a dirty thing, and then it goes back to the regular song, and she's back to being a housewife, and then it cuts back in with Crazy in Love, and so the filth takes over, basically.
Filth takes over.
So she can no longer be the housewife, and she cannot resist the call of the bump music, and so she starts to take her clothes off, and she takes her dress off, and she's got stockings on, and she starts to take her clothes off, and Red Snapper, whom I know and I've actually had dinner with, and who I know her real name, continues to take her clothes off and does not stop taking her clothes off. And I'm watching, and I'm against the wall, and it was so funny because I had been told there would be skin. I guess I wasn't anticipating there being familiar skin or skin that I knew on a first name basis, kind of a strip club. It's all fucking Destiny and cinnamon and bullshit, and who cares? And they're naked, and that's fine. Go ahead and hit me, and here's $1. But I mean, at these shows, I told that story on here, and but at this show, like I know these people. Like I had Thanksgiving with Red, and we're in a fucking gallery, like an art gallery with lights, and so she starts getting undressed, and then she gets undressed, like she's naked, like fucking nude, except for she has, what's that thing called? It's like it's not a G-string. It's a Merkin. Was it a Merkin? I thought it was that underneath thing. No. Oh, okay. I didn't get close enough.
She had a lead press on.
Yeah, I wanted to get closer to see. She had a Merkin, which is a pubic wig, and it's in the spot where there would be pubes if she had any. And it matched her dress, which was nice. But because I thought it was that weird thing that doesn't go up your ass, but is like a G-string, that little like shelf. So yeah, she literally had a piece of fabric on, and then she pulled off her pasties and was completely nude. She's completely nude in heels in the middle of the room with there's like fucking 80 people there, and she's just standing there. Ha ha! Look at this. And I know this person. I'm waiting for her father to rush out of the wings with an overcoat. Like it was that awkward and strange. And then, or I actually went for Forrest Gump to leap on the stage and to help her and take her off. It's that fucking weird. And the thing is, with Red, she wants me to know how naked she is all the time. I should tell you that too. Like,
she wants you to know?
Yeah, specifically me. I'm not even joking. When we went, because last time I was, Christmas Eve, we went to the show, and she started going, she looked at me, she goes, my nipples are on the internet. And I'm like, fantastic. I don't know. And then her husband is like, yeah, she's got a naked vlog now. Like it's a topless vlog. And they're telling me this. Like it wasn't like a big announcement. They're telling, and I'm just like, and look, I'm sure you think it was to everybody at the table. No, it was to me. I'm the only guy there as far as I'm concerned. But so I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't look it up because I wouldn't know where to look. And I'm not going to fucking tell me where it is and I'll look at it, but I'm not going to go searching for it. But, but also because I know that person and I don't, and also you can't, whatever. But it didn't matter now because now she was, just raw, fucking raw with a color forms stuck on her vagina. And the best part of it was, in strip clubs, girls do it methodically and businesslike and they get naked because that's their job. Burlesque, there's the art and the tease, and at the end they give you the wink, and then they got a fan, and then there's a pasty, and then everybody goes, ooh, and then they walk off stage. Well, Red was doing her thing, and it was great. The routine was awesome. It was actually funny and well thought out and done, and she did a great job. And then she got completely naked, and then she pulled her pasties off, and basically did everything but scream, "These are my tits, motherfuckers!" Fuck Demure. Demure left. It wasn't even in the room. It was gone. Demure had been beaten to death and was in the gutter bleeding out. She took Demure outside and made it put its mouth on the curb and stepped on the back of its head. Because she's standing there with her vagina out and then just pulls off her pasties. She's like, and literally put her hands in the air and stood there for about, I think it was an hour. Maybe an hour she stood there. Naked. Just like, look at this nakedness, motherfuckers. That's right. And I'm staring, and I'm trying not to stare because I know that person because I had a sandwich with her. But at the same time, part of me is like, well, I wonder if that thing comes off in the front. Like, if you're going to, because again, I'm greedy and I'm terrible. Take that other fucking thing off. Honestly, if you're going to go this far, get the fucking blue thing off your pussy because, you've shown everything else. Why not? Why not? I got to quote a pair of guys named Sly Fox. Let's go all the way. Let's go all the way. Let's go all the way.
Oh my God.
That was my go-to mix when I was a DJ. Did I ever tell you that story? Oh, God damn it. Worked in a club in Tahoe. I was the bouncer. And DJ, my friend DJ was the DJ. But then when DJ would go fuck girls or disappear, he'd go, dude, can you take a shift in the DJ booth? And I'd say, yes. And then I would play like obscure dance music because that's what people wanted to hear, not fucking pour some sugar on me 9 times a night, you dick. But he was too good looking to fire. So I would be up there. And so I found fucking, here was my mix. I had Sly Fox with Let's Go All the Way, which by the way, I know that sounds like a terrible dance club and it is, but back then this was top 40. So it was Sly Fox with Let's Go All the Way. And I would mix that with A Fly Girl by the Boogie Boys. And if you listen to them, go ahead, look them up right now. I'll wait. But if you listen to them individually, you will hear, like, you can actually hear where I mix them, and I would go back and forth on the crossfade behind the wheels of steel, just a big fucking bouncer, getting a hand job up in the booth. That's right.
Behind the wheels of
You know it. So sure enough, that it seemed like it was a month that she was naked in the middle of the room with her hands in the air, just like, yeah, look, but I'm fucking greedy. It's like, take it off. If you're gonna take it off, take it all off. You can leave the shoes on. That's fine. But then she turned around and walked away, and then, again, there's nothing. Her ass is there, and then she walks off. So there were nipples, but they were just, and it was weird because they were familiar nipples, like they were nipples that I know. These are the nipples you know. These are the nipples you know. These nipples are on Red Snapper. She's a friend of yours. So she walks off naked, and my favorite part is, again, she stood there for about an hour and a half, like, just with her hands in the air, like, check it out, to the point where I was hoping, like, the thing would just fall off. Like, I thought that was part of the routine, where she somehow had pussy control, where her pussy would remove it itself and throw it out there, like, seriously. I mean, hey, look, if she's that comfortable being naked, maybe she's got, like, because I can wiggle my ears. Maybe she's got lip control and it rips off the fucking thing and throws it. How great! That's a showstopper. That's a goddamn showstopper. You want to talk about art? There's photos in there, but that's going to be fucking serious art. If her pussy lips pull that thing off and throw it into the air, done.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Because if you concentrate, like I said, I can wiggle my ears. I mean, if she's got to be, if she concentrates, it's like Uma Thurman. Wiggle your big toe. Well, Red Snapper's in the back of a fucking car somewhere, and she's just like, wiggle your pussy lips and take off that merkin and throw it. Come on, why not? Uma got it in a night. Snapper's going to get it in a fucking week. And there's 2 lips, not just 1 toe. All right. So Snapper's naked for about a fucking calendar year. I mean, she won't, and she's got her hands in the air. Like, that's the thing. It wasn't just like naked, like, woohoo. It was like, fuck you, naked. 3D. Everybody put your 3D glasses on now. Because you're about to get Red Snapper in your face. And then she turned around and struts off. In a way, I mean, struts. Like fucking Ric Flair would see that strut and go, God damn, I wish I had that strut. Like Sheena Easton would see it and go, I got to remake Strut. I mean, I got to get back into the studio because that's what strutting is all about. Because look at her. She struts, she pouts, she puts it out. She's all taking and no giving. Watch that naked Snapper as she walks out the door.
Oh my fuck.
So Sheena Easton may have been there, or it may have been 4 guys in a Sheena Easton costume because they thought it was ironic. So Snapper walks to the back of the, and just naked, like fucking completely, like, and like movie credit struts, like one, like her, I can't even explain it. It was just the most confident walk. Like it was almost as if this is the first time she's ever had her clothes off in her life. It was like someone who was bursting free from the prison of clothes for the first time in history. Walks off. I was really worried about the atmosphere because it was like, we were all like, yay, burlesque, and yay, we all are friends. And then when you see someone naked, it just changes the game. It changes it up. And by the way, that's an old guy talking. I should tell you that, because now everybody's naked, like all the fucking time. Every young person at a party is like flashing their tits. I told you, I've been to, like, I was at Comedy Club in Iowa with Toomey, and it was fucking New Year's Eve. And you can get away with saying, I've told this story on here, where you can get away with doing whatever the fuck you want. So there were these 2 girls, and they came up to us and they're like, you guys are really funny. Oh man, what are you doing tonight? Whatever, can we get an autograph? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, woo, and they're partying. And then she said, what was it she wanted? Oh, she showed her tits to, like, on the other side of the club. And then she came over to talk to us, and we were like, and I was like, look, how do you even approach us without showing us your tits? And both girls pulled their shirts up and just showed us their tits. And it was like, what, where was this when I was a child? Why didn't this occur when I was a child? Now, granted, I would have never asked when I was a child, but still. So nobody has any, go on the internet. Nobody has any problem with nudity. If you get a phone and a mirror, you're naked and you don't care. Everybody's taking those fucking dumbass photos. And look, I love them. Go ahead, please, girls, take the photos. Because I'm an old man on his deathbed with no game. So I'm like, yay, I like your underwear. All right, so. Terrible.
Oh
So Snapper sachets off. And then the next person out is a woman named Carmel Knowledge, I believe. And Carmel Knowledge mixed it up because the first three girls, like I said, Nikita did like a theme thing where she's dancing around doing the go-go thing, and Snapper did her housewife number. Well, Carmel Knowledge had a sword. And I was like, all right, well, here we go. Business is about to pick up. And she did like an Arabian Nights kind of deal with belly dancing and then the sword. And she balanced the sword on her head.
She's amazing.
It was crazy. She bounced it on her. She did the thing where she like lifted her leg in the air and bounced it on her thigh and then did a full turn on one foot with keeping the sword in place. It was fucking outrageous. And then and the dancing and the performance was great. And then she got, as naked as she was going to get, but she didn't fucking announce herself like Red did. Which is too bad. You know what? Honestly, it's a great show if Red does her thing and then Carmel Knowledge comes out with a sword and cuts off the fucking pubic wig. With one slice. Just fucking Hassan chop. Whack! If your pussy lives herking to the job, I got a friend with a sword who will. So Carmel dances and does her thing and she bails, and that was great. She was really good. And then after that is our friend, was it Anastasia next? Yeah. Anastasia von Teaserhausen comes out. And Anastasia's a friend of Lily's, who I also know as a person. I know her name, and I've been in a social situation with her eating at a house. Why am I having sandwich with strippers? I should have a public access show called Sandwiches with Strippers, because that's everything. Every one of my stories is that I had a sandwich with this person. I may not have had a sandwich. I may have had fucking soup or a steak. I don't know. But I only eat foods that begin with S if I'm with strippers. We had strawberries. So I know Anastasia, and she had, I would say this is a funny thing. What the fuck? She doesn't care. Anastasia has body modification. Yes. She has scarring, but it's artful, like tribal scarring.
It's beautiful, actually. Yeah.
It's amazing looking. All right. And it's on her chest, and it's, up, like under her collarbone, right on either side of her, shoulders, right on above her breasts. And it is almost calligraphic tribal scarring that is done on her skin. It's cutting. It's more intense than a tattoo. I mean, it's actually cut into her skin, and it's beautiful. But every time I see her, my eyes go right for it, and then I talk to her about it for 5 or 10 minutes. Like, I won't leave her alone about it, and because I'm trying to cover the fact that I stared right at her tits, first of all. But also, I'm fascinated by it because it's something I would never do in a million years. So I think it's interesting. And again, it's artful and it's beautiful. But she's got to be so bored of me at this point, because every time I see her, I ask her if she's got new stuff done. And I find out that she trusted one person who did it, and that person doesn't do it anymore or moved far away. She can't find a new person. We feel we've had this conversation 1,000 times. And what it boils down to is me just going, hey, get naked so I can see the rest of your scars. Like, I mean, it's just... So I sound like somebody at a Hostel or Saw, you know what I mean? When I walk in, hey, get naked so I can see the rest of your scars. Awful. I just feel like that creepy dude. Even though it is just me commenting on living art, and it's beautiful. But at the same time, every time I talk to her, my eyes go right for her tits and stare at, because again, it really draws you in. It's because nobody has it. You never see it. And certainly not on anybody attractive. Every time I see it, it's some idiot at Amoeba Music with a fucking hose in his nose. You know what I mean? Like a fucking gigantic, you know what? Hold on. That may have been Barbarino. It could have been Barbarino. What do you think, Carvelli?
Oh, man.
Actually, that wouldn't be Barbarino. He would never put a rubber hose up his nose. He would beat the guy up. Horseshack. Now he would be up his nose with a rubber hose. Oh, he's dead. God rest his laugh. All right, so I make myself laugh. So Anastasia comes out to dance, and she does her dance, and she did a Muppet dance, and she had like a Cookie Monster costume on, and which that's not confusing at all for grown-ups. To see a hot girl in a Cookie Monster costume stripping and giving you cookies, that doesn't cause any sort of weird mixed messages whatsoever. I gotta feel that stilts you somehow at the DNA level, to where if you actually make a kid, that kid's gonna come out warped. Like, it's going to see Sesame Street because it gets the message just from your sperm into the lady egg, and then it's going to come out and it's going to watch Sesame Street, and then it's going to go, why do I want to fuck Cookie Monster? Kids want to fuck Cookie Monster when that happens. Only when that happens. So she comes out in her Cookie Monster thing, and she's dancing. And, she's dancing and dancing, and then she's dancing. and she's getting naked, and I'm hiding behind Bill. But then finally Anastasia gets all the way down to G-string and pasties, and then she takes off her pasties. And I would love to be able to tell you what her nipples look like, except I could not stop staring at the tribal scarring just above them, so I never got a chance to see them.
Right.
So I missed them completely. All I know is that now for the rest of my life, Cookie Monster has very interesting tribal scarring in the chest region. So then she turns around and leaves. And she had her hair up. Doesn't she have really long hair? Why doesn't she ever dance with her hair down like crazy?
She does a couple acts with it down.
I've never seen it. Yeah, I've never seen it. Although, in truth, she may have had it down. I'm literally staring at her chest the entire fucking time. I have no clue. I don't know what her face looks like. She could be a guy. In that room, seriously, it could have been a dude. So Anastasia danced, and she it was really cool. Cookie Monster, she took off. And then was Jewel next?
Jewel did not perform.
No. Who? I always mix it up with that other girl, the real pretty girl who did the cowgirl thing.
Quintessential.
Quintessential, right? Is it quintessential or?
Quintessential.
Yeah, quintessential danced. Yeah. And she came out and did like a toddlers and tiaras thing from your show, and she was dancing around like a little cowgirl, and then she got her clothes off, and she had a big rack, and then she also took her pasties off. So there were more nipples on display, and I wish I could tell you what her nipples looked like, but I could not stop looking at Anastasia's chest because she was in the back with her tribal scarring on display.
You're such a liar.
So that was like 4 different girls who took off their pasties, and Red was the one who got crazy nude, crazy. And then Dizzy Von Dam closed the show and came out and danced, and I was like, well, all right, well, this is going to be her naked, and then she was not, and she did like a classy number of her doing like I mean, dude, why? What are you doing? What are you doing here?
Because I booked it.
I understand that, but so what? The bar has been set, and it's been set very, very low and very, very bare. Take some clothes off. Cookie Monster showed me your nipples. What the fuck? You're better than that?
Cookie Monster.
You think you're better than Cookie Monster? I don't fucking think so.
Oh my Christ, Cookie Monster.
Whip out the headlights. Because again, that's how guys think. I mean, I'd love to appreciate the art form and your beautiful dress and all the work you did stitching together that scarf. However, all I know is that when you stitched together that scarf, you canceled my fucking show so you could do it. God damn it. Maybe that's me projecting, but still. But yes, you're wearing a lovely costume. Now take it the fuck off. All right, so. See, that's why strip clubs are work. You know what I mean? They get out there, it's just a girl in fucking bra and panties, and then they're gone. Boom, done. Then they fucking, grease up a pole, and we're done. We're finished. Seriously. They get the stage all sticky, and they bail. Grab their dollars and leave. They hit you, and they take off. All right. So the show ends after Dizzy does her classy dance, which was good. It's just that's not what I'm there for. In an art gallery in L.A., I'm there to see nudity, damn it. So the show ends, and then they do the curtain call, and everybody comes out, and there's photos being taken, and everyone came out in their costumes, and they were very nice. Everybody except Red Snapper, who was still naked and announced it like literally like ta-da. She came out for the curtain call and did everything but kick her leg over her head. Everybody else is in their costumes and stuff, and Nikita's in her go-go costume, but doesn't button the shirt. So that's like a really good look because it's like you can kind of get cleavage shots, but then she turns the right way, her whole tit comes out, but she's still got pasties on, whatever the fuck. But Red is there. There's no jacket. There's no peekaboo. There's just boo. Peek and have left the building. It is straight up boo. She's walking around with her blue vagina, taking pictures with people. And I'm standing with her husband. It's me, Karen, and our friend Patrick, the bank robber, and Andrew, who's Red's husband. And I said, hey, your wife's still naked. You know that, right? He's like, yeah, I know. But he's on board with it because he would be naked too if he could. I guess that's their thing. And so she's very naked and she's taking photos with people, including those French idiots that I thought were just had snuck in with their friend, but now I find out they have diplomatic immunity. So Mel Gibson can't shoot them and they're there to take photos. But everybody's putting their arms around Red and taking photos and dude, she is surfing the wave of weird sexual tension and enjoying it. She is hanging 10 and she's hanging 2 and a blue rug. That's what she's hanging. Everybody else is hanging whatever they brought to the party. And then she walks up to talk to me, and she starts talking. I wouldn't look at her directly when she's talking to me. I mean, across the room, I'll watch her walk like I'm going to tackle her. But I mean, the rest of the time when she comes right up and she's just, because she's got a real pretty face and she's like, hi. And I'm like, hi, you're naked. And she's like, yep. And she was into it. I mean, she's like, just thrust her tits in your face and she's just talking. And also, but it wasn't sexual for her. It was liberating for her. And she was probably getting off on the fact that she was freaking out every guy because all they wanted to do was stare at her tits. I mean, look, I'm not a lady. I don't know how you ladies work, but you know what you've got. And you know that when you fucking put it in our face that we're going to lose our minds. And you can basically tell us to do anything at that point. Red Snapper could have all of us kill someone. She could have picked out one person in that crowd and said, he dies, and done the thumbs down like fucking Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator. And the rest of us would have beaten him to death. We wouldn't have cared. Done. She said so. And that's what we would have told the cops. Cops said, why? And we would have pointed at her. We said, she said so. And the cops would have said, carry on. Naked girl can make you do a ton of shit. Just be sure you're not the one who's going to get killed. Be nice to the naked chick, because if she wants you dead, you'll be dead. So Red is standing there with her husband, and they're talking, and she's got her arm around her husband and her arm on another guy, and they're taking photos, and I'm weirding out, because another thing is her husband is right next to me talking to me, and she's between us. So I don't want to be staring at her tits while her husband's there, and I don't want to anyway, because she did my taxes, for fuck's sake. I told you before, I had spaghetti and sushi with this girl. So it's weird just standing there, and then she walks off, and then I got to look at her ass, of course, because that's her. By the way, that's her calling card. Yes, it is. And by the way, when a girl has a calling card and it's her ass, that's great. Because she, what she's built like. Red Snapper is built like a dancer out of a Matt Helm movie. Do you remember those? It's from the 60s. It was Dean Martin's knockoff of James Bond. And because Red, again, she had her hair piled up too. She looked like she walked out of a 60s fucking stag film. I mean, it was crazy. Blue fucking vagina wig and everything. So she walks up and I'm standing there, and Karen is talking to Patrick and whatever. And I'm talking to Kilt Bill for a while. And then on my elbow, I feel a presence. And I turn around, and in her Gogo Yubari outfit with the shirt open now is our friend Nikita. And she's talking to me, and I don't know what to say. Again, I don't know what to say. Like, nice ass. I mean, there's nothing. She's more naked than she was earlier. She's not completely naked, but her shirt's wide open. And I've already seen her dancing in her G-string today. And she knows she heard me already. Fucking basically, her ears are still filled with the saliva that poured out of her fucking earbuds when I talked about it the last time. So she comes to talk to me with her shirt open, and there's so much at play here, because I know that's how she is anyway, because I told you that was what I saw on display. That's what led me to talk about her, was that she was just plain dirty in a room full of strangers. She didn't care. That's what she was like. But now she knows that I know, and she heard me talk about it. So women know. So she knows she's got that weird kind of power thing over me, I think. Maybe she doesn't think that way, but I like to think mainly that she's devious. So she came over, and she's talking to me with her shirt open and her tits out, and I know, fully knowing, she knows what she's doing. Because what the fuck do I do? I'm certainly not going to not talk to her, and I can't escape, but I also can't go next level with this conversation. Like, because, look, it's weird. All right. I'm married and she doesn't like me. All right. Nikita does not care. I get that. But just instinctually, from the balls up, you think, well, I got to close this deal. Like, I got to try because we've already gotten past. I've already passed the Get Smart doors. I turned in my fucking shoe phone. So I keep thinking that I got to, like, hit on her. I know that sounds weird. It's just because it almost, you know what, folks? It would almost be insulting not to at this point, right? I mean, she's half naked. I saw her dance. She knows how I feel. I've got to just go ahead and lay it all on the table here, right? Karen will understand. You know what? This must be what it's like for when a dog gets spayed, and then he's just rubbing it on the carpet and he doesn't know why. He has no fucking clue why. He just knows that his brain tells him he's supposed to do that at that point. That's where I'm at. I'm at the point where my brain is just going, well, you know, you got to close the deal on this chick. Even though she's not interested and I'm married and my wife is a foot away. But it's just that weird thing in your head where you just go, maybe, nah, fuck. And so thankfully, and I will say this is weird, before it got even stranger for me and my fucking tiny brain, before the bees were able to coalesce into some sort of serious fucking mistake, luckily, Flitty Jones and his cracker cleanup crew came over and fucking stole Nikita away from me. The 3 French photographers and Cracker Boy came over, and this is why I thought he was gay, because he wasn't hitting on Nikita. He was marveling over her, which you see gay guys do, where they're just like she's a Cupid doll and they want to touch her clothes, you know, like that kind of thing. But also, I will say this, Nikita gives all that vibe where she's so approachable, like maybe he wanted to do that, but also because he took that tack so he could touch her jacket and touch her shoulders because it was the closest he was going to get to touching her at that point. I don't know, man. Guys are weird and chicks are even weirder. And guys and chicks together in a room when one of them who did your taxes is naked is a fucking question mark. The whole thing's a mess.
Oh my God.
Just a fucking mess. So they kept, like, because they kept reaching out and touching her shoulders and touching her elbows and stuff, the French dudes and then that little dude. And I thought they were admiring her clothes, but maybe that was as close as they could get to her and sending weird signals. Because it's that thing when you're like a boy and you like a girl, but you don't know what the fuck that means. So you pull her hair. That's what those dudes were doing. They were just like, oh, shucks, and the shit out of fucking Nikita. And she's just standing there taking it because she's friendly and nice. But they kept touching her arms and her elbows, and and then part of me is like, hey, get the fuck out of here. I'm going to close this deal. And then I'm like, shut the fuck up. What are you doing? Get your dick off the carpet. So it was awkward. It was an awkward night all around because I'm seeing Red Snapper. She's completely naked, and except for her blue patch. And then Nikita's talking to me, and I enjoyed talking to her, but I went at that point where I'm going, I don't. Because we talked about her job and I used every trick to talk about everything else that she does and what she's doing and how she likes doing it and how much she likes dancing. And then at that point, I'm out at that point other than, hey, you want to climb up on my shoulders? I mean, I got nothing else. I'm out of discussion. I'm out of talk. So they were taking pictures and we're doing all this stuff at the end of the night and we're getting ready to leave. And I go to say goodbye to Lily and she's very nice. And she's like, well, hold on. I got to get a picture. So I say goodbye. I make the rounds of the room and I say goodnight. I say goodnight to Bill like 4 times. I say goodnight to a bunch of people because we're waiting for photographers to get back. And the people that Lily wanted to use somehow had put their cameras away or some of them were walking somebody else to a car. There was always some reason why we couldn't get a picture taken, but Lily wanted to get a picture taken. So we waited and Karen and I waited. We weren't in a hurry. It was just ending. So finally, I after the 4th goodbye, I'm like, look, I'm just going to go. Because again, it was everybody wanted a piece of Lily and I felt stupid being there because everyone was there. It was her night and it was her night to celebrate and they were all there for her. So anytime I approach her, I just, go be with other people. It's fine. I see you all the time. Well, I'm serious. I'm being serious. It's just.
I really wanted the picture of us before you left.
I understood. And we waited and then, and I didn't get to see it. I didn't see if it came out or not, but she, so finally we posed for a picture and then, we finished posing for the picture and we were going to leave. And then Lily's like, all right. And she runs over. And I don't know what inspired this because again, she had just taken a photo of me with me and Karen and people are talking and they're kind of milling about and they're cheering. And Lily runs away from the red carpet area and climbs up like on a table. And I'm standing there and it was very, in a movie, it would have been the slow motion scene where I went, no. And dove to get the bullet that was about to hit her. But it turned out she had her own finger on the trigger, and I wasn't going to stop her from pulling it. I look over at her. She climbs up to the table, and she's like, yeah. And she says, thank you so much for coming. And then she just takes off all of her clothes. She was wearing a dress, a one-piece. And all she did was she slipped off the shoulder straps and dropped it down to waist level. I didn't get a look at the basement. But I spent some quality time on the upper floors. Lily got naked. Took off her dress just down to waist level, like I said, but topless. Which I'd seen before, but unfortunately my mental psychic block had not allowed me to remove the pasties when I had seen it. But luckily this time I didn't have to use my psychic powers. I don't know what was brighter, the glint in Lily's eye or the glint of the artificial light off of her nipple barbells. I'm not sure what shone brighter through the night at that point. Because the look in her eye was just so, it was ecstasy. It was, I won't even lie, it was complete ecstasy as she finally got to pull her tits out. And then nipple barbells shining in the light. I half expected three wise men to approach the door bearing gifts. Because they had followed the light through the night to come and see the gift of the Magi that Lily had presented them. They were on their camels, and they looked and they said, look, there's a light over at the Frankenstein place. There's a light over at the Frankenstein place. And they showed up, and Lily said, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch me, fellas. I want to be dirty. You guys can get me at MikeandMikeSchmidtComedy.com. You can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40-year-old boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40-year-old boy. You can be our friend David Hernandez, who does all the artwork and the music, at Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez on Facebook. You can be our friend Lily Von Stup's friend on Facebook at Facebook.com/Lily Von Stup. You can follow her at two different Twitter accounts. You can follow her at Twitter.com/MNTs and Twitter.com/Lily Von Stup. But if you'd like to write her a personal note and find out which one of the strippers I could not talk about tonight, you can send her a personal note at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com. Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. The show's at 10 o'clock p.m., but you can get there at 8 and start drinking. And then drink all the way till 10, and then drink till midnight during the show, and then drink till 2 after the show. And then go to have pancakes with Lily. You'll do all of that every Monday night at the Monday Night Teas. Why not? That's what I would do, other than all the drinking stuff. But that's there was a show this past week, right? You know, I happen to know the producer of that show. Before I even get into it, let's talk about the producer of that show. Who I've been told has nipple hoops, not nipple barbells. But that'll tell you just how I uncomfortable and awkward it was for me to look. Oops, I can't see. Oh, okay, yeah. They're round. They're hoops, folks, just so you know now. Next time that there's a gallery opening after she does an Indiegogo thing and you contribute and go to the private party and you see Red Snapper walking around in a blue rug and you see me awkwardly trying to talk to a tiny Japanese girl.
The worst party ever.
No, it was a great party, but I'm a fucking misfit. So, but anyway, the person who organized all of that and runs the show called the Monday Night Teens at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine and has hoops, not barbells, is our friend Lily Von Stubb. Hey, Lily.
Hi, Michael.
How are you?
I'm somewhat better and cautiously optimistic.
Let me be a surrogate for everyone out there listening now, and thank you for your effort in getting up and sitting in a chair and doing this week's show.
Oh, you're welcome.
Let me also be a surrogate for all of them and say, hey, what the fuck about this letter and the goddamn sewing costume bullshit? So you're feeling sort of better.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. This is a true thing. I will, because people sometimes still, although real listeners to this show know that you're not faking,
Oh, God. No.
that you genuinely think I'm kind of funny. And so you're willing,
hysterical.
good, that's good news. But I think this week, when you're off of your deathbed, I think that should kind of prove it. That should seal the deal for people that you're actually involved and actively interested in, because you couldn't fake enjoying things if you were fucking half dead, right?
It's a NyQuil-induced humor.
Oh, is it harder for you to, with all of this fog and this haze, is it harder for you to enjoy what I'm doing or what we're doing?
Michael, I genuinely think you're funny.
Yeah.
When we're out at a restaurant and you say something funny, I giggle.
That never happens.
It does too.
We've never been in a restaurant. I'm never funny in restaurants.
Sandwiches and sushi.
Oh, have we had all of those things?
Yes. The stripper, we have.
And you enjoyed the sea urchin.
No, I did not.
No, it was me. Well, the show this week was was it your birthday show this past
No, that
week?
was last week.
I was going to come to that.
Not at all, but-
Yeah, I was going to come to your birthday show, but then it was sold out. There was no way I could be in the door. But then this past week's show was your Meat Fest show.
Oh, yes, it
I
was.
don't care for that.
Best foreskin.
Don't care for that.
Oh, you know what? There's a lot of men who don't, but let me just tell you, there were a lot of women and a few men in that audience that were very, very happy by the end of that show.
Well, I'm not advocating for the end of Meat Fest. I think you should have plenty of Meat Fests. In fact, you should call them plenty of Meat Fests.
That's me fest five, plenty.
Yeah, a sack full of Meat Fests. But
Horn of plenty.
Horn of Plenty, sure. So I'm not advocating. I won't attend it because it does not interest me. But I will say, I belong to your Monday Night Tees page and to your personal page, and you will post about this. And I don't see anything really get the response that Meat Fest gets. Like
Tarantino does. Muppets
Yeah, but
does.
Tarantino doesn't count. I mean, because that's like such an outlier. I mean, it's such an amazing.
Yeah.
It's become almost an entity, of itself, but unto itself, I should say. But Meat Fest is, you run that show and it's a special show, but still, I mean, the women you can see in the posts on Facebook, they're just like, yeah, I can't fucking wait to see a cock. I mean, like literally, it's not even a joke.
A little on the crazy side.
Yeah.
There's
Well, good.
No doubt about it. And we talked about this at breakfast after the show because the guys that were in from New York, Mr. Exotic World, Tigger, and the the burlesque mayor of New York City, Johnny Porkpie, were in town.
I'm sorry, is that Johnny Pork Pie?
Yes, Johnny Porkpie, the Johnny Porkpie.
What did he order for breakfast?
He had the
It's over.
apple
Stop.
pork
You
pie.
missed.
I
Yeah.
couldn't get the joke out because we were actually joking about him porking the pie at breakfast.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
childish.
Sure.
But we were talking about
Hard to believe it would get childish with you and Tigger and the burlesque mayor of New York City.
I know, life is so awesome.
All of you playing grown up and ordering real food.
Honestly, I sit at breakfast whenever I'm around Johnny, and I tell him this. I don't know why, but I feel like a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
He has a look that reminds me of that time period when I was in high school and I was dating older men with long hair.
Yeah.
So there's that thing about me where it's like I think he's attractive. I don't necessarily want to fuck him. No offense, Johnny, but there is that.
He's listening.
There's that go-to childhood kind of sexy look.
I'm gonna come up with a phrase now that I just learned Okay. I have the Comedy Film Nerds book that I wrote 2 chapters in, which is available now at comedyfilmnerds.com. And I've been reading it. I've just been grabbing it and reading a random chapter or two. I didn't read it all the way through. I read my chapters over and over, of course. But then I read, and Graham's and Chris's. But Laura House is a very funny comedian and a great writer. She was in Road Stories on MTV. I think she was one of the creators. And she just writes funny stuff. And so she wrote the Rant-A-Comedy rom-com chapter. And I read it, and it's fucking delightful and funny. Everything Laura is. But the phrase that I had never heard, I want to write her to tell her I did not know this phrase. She was talking about When Harry Met Sally, I think. And she said, she goes, come on, nobody wanted to make, she goes, Billy Crystal, she goes, sometimes you can put an actor in a romantic comedy, and if it's a good one, it'll work, and you'll think he's like sexy or attractive. She goes, Billy Crystal is a great example. She goes, nobody wants to make out with Mr. Saturday Night, but if you tell me you didn't get some mice in the basement when you saw him in When Harry Met Sally, mice in the basement. Fucking awesome. I was so mad that it's like one of those things where you're like, how did I never think of that in my life?
Because you don't have a vagina.
But brilliant. If you didn't get some mice in the basement when he was in that, I'm like, oh my Christ. Like I was in my house. I wanted to call her right then. I was like, God damn it. That's great. It's great.
That's funny.
Got a little mice in the basement over that guy. God damn it. All right. So anyway, continue. I apologize. So you get mice in the basement over Johnny Pork Pie.
I get that, like, over the bra, under the shirt,
Sure.
Kinda when I'm
Sister
around
Christian
it.
on the radio.
Yeah, so I get that silly, giddy, flirty, sexy, childlike feel around him, because that's what he reminds me. He reminds me of a guy I dated when I was in high school.
Fucking Pork
Or
Pie.
junior high. And he's a really nice, funny guy.
Fucking
too, so
Pork Pie.
He's good looking, So we were all at breakfast talking about it and how it's like, when men are in the audience and women together watching a burlesque show, there's never a touchy-feely. But when guys are stripping, women are out of control. They're just like reaching out and touching and grabbing, and there's more pictures after show of women with their hands on guys' cocks. After a burlesque show, there's not a guy in that audience that's got the balls to walk up and go, can I take a picture with my hand on your vagina? It just isn't going to happen.
Well, we have the balls, but we're also well aware of the laws of this state.
But there's that.
I mean, if I knew that was an option on the table, that'd be a question I'd be asking quite a bit.
No, there's a double standard. The girls just know it's okay to grab a guy's ass and their cock and have a picture taken, and it's not a big deal. It's a terrible double standard, and I'm sorry.
Well, I can tell you as I'm the surrogate for all males, and I will accept your apology.
There you go. But the show is fantastic. Tigger brought an invisible strip where he's naked but does an entire glove and gown peel with a fan dance that is amazing. And Johnny Pork Pie brought his competition act in, which is probably one of the most intellectually stimulating and hysterically sexy acts at the same time.
Fucking Pork
really
Pie.
Nice to see the out of town guy, and the locals brought it too. Don't get me wrong. Holy fuck, it was amazing.
Good.
So it was a wonderful show, well attended, and people loved it.
Fantastic. And do you have Meat Fest 5 on deck?
Meat Fest 5 is
On
not
Dick?
on deck yet, but we
On
do
Dick.
have Meat Fest 3 going to Fullerton on March 22nd. So we're taking cock out of town, which I think may be against the law. I don't know if I can take them across state.
No, absolutely not. That's some sort of racketeering. That's a cocketeering law. You don't want that to happen. Watch out for Fred and Beretta. I'm sorry, hold on. It's a cockatooing law.
That's a cockatooing.
My fault. Well, good. And this week there is a Monday Night Tease as well. Yes, is it a theme show or a
There's no theme, but I'm really excited. Russell Bruner's girlfriend, Pink Lady, is coming down. She's going to do some songs for us. Red Hot Annie is in from Chicago performing. She's making her LA debut at Penny's show, and then she's coming over and doing mine.
I saw that chick
Red Hot Annie?
online.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Absolutely. Who else? We've got D. Faust coming down from San Francisco, and then we've got a bunch of amazing regulars. And I'm really honored to say John Armstrong is coming to do magic with us on Monday, which is really nice to have him.
Very cool.
He's a bit of a who's who in the magic world. It's going to be great. And Eddie's hosting, so it's going to be a fantastic show.
Funny Eddie?
Yes.
Will he be doing Funny Eddie stuff?
Of
FunnyEddie.com.
course.
Well, good. That's good news. That's a fine show. I will not be attending. I'm preparing for my trip, which I will tell you about now. Idiot. Well, good. I'm glad. Congratulations and I hope you can stay upright for this next show.
So too. Meat Fest was hard. I was like, on
Ha ha ha! Stop right there.
bar just watching it going, that's awesome. Because I was just so tired still.
Yeah, and medicated.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well, hopefully you did not get me sick in the time that I'm here. I'm hoping to. Jesus Christ. Then we got to do one more of these before I go out of town. You guys can go to facebook.com/the40year-old-boy and be my friend, as I've mentioned. And there are plenty of Bring Mike to Your Town pages. Not plenty, but some. Montreal, places like that. And like I said, London, which is a pipe dream, but it was something I would love to make happen. But there are plenty of live dates available right now at brownpapertickets.com. I will tell you them in order. February 1st, that's Friday, next Friday, not this week, but next Friday in Aurora, Illinois /Chicago. And if you can come out to the show, it'd be great. At the Comedy at the Shrine in Aurora. I will be there. I'm excited to be there. It's returning back to Chicago. I've sold some tickets. I'd love to sell more. Tickets are available now at brownpapertickets.com for all of the dates that I'm going to mention right now. Like I said, February 1st at Comedy at the Shrine in Aurora, Illinois. I should be there. Should be fun. I should be there? No, I will be there. Buy a ticket. I guarantee I'll show up. How weak is that? March 2nd, I will be at the Woodlawn Theater in San Antonio, Texas. San Antonio, buy some tickets. March 2nd, I believe it is, Saturday night. And Saturday night, March 2nd at the Woodlawn Theater in San Antonio, Texas. The following week is March 9th. Saturday, March 9th, I will be at the Box Theater in Mount Clemens, Michigan. Tickets are on sale for all of these shows, as I've mentioned. Go ahead. March 2nd, that's a Saturday night in San Antonio at the Woodlawn Theater. March 9th, that is at the Box Theater in Mount Clemens, Michigan. March 29th, that's a Friday night at the Headwaters Theater in Portland, Oregon. Tickets are on sale for all of these shows, as well as April 5th, Friday, San Francisco, California. I will be recording my CD with a Special Thing Records right there that night at the Dark Room Theater. Tickets available right now at Brown Paper Tickets for February 1st in Chicago /Aurora. And then March 2nd, March 9th, San Antonio, Detroit, March 28th in Portland, or that's the 29th. It's a Friday. I don't know off the top of my head because I'm talking like an idiot. And then April 5th, that's a Friday night in San Francisco at the Darkroom Theater. Tickets are available now for all of these shows at brownpapertickets.com. Please know that you can go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and go to the Joe Business page, and there's all sorts of stuff available there. For the two people, I still have Rich and Mark. I have your artwork. It's coming. I have yet to get it from David, and then when David sends it to me, I will send it out. Speaking of David's artwork, go to artbydmh.com. Remember to go to artbydmh.com. See all the cool stuff that David can do and has done. And if you need storyboards or if you know a company or you need artwork done, Max is out there and he works freelance and ready to do it for you at artbydmh.com. So Rich and Mark, your artwork is coming to me and then it'll be sent to you once Lily and I get to sign it. It's going to be another couple weeks probably, because David has, he's in the fucking 40-year-old boy mines digging away, trying to find nuggets for some important work that he has to do right now. On the Joe Business page, you can go to tweakedaudio.com/40 and get autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds and cock ring watches. Those are available right now and always. I think I'm going to have a fun thing in February with Tweaked. I was going to have it in January, and then I fucked up and didn't contact them. And it's not like Bruce is going to reach out to me and go, hey, you want us to do free stuff? No, I have to figure it out. So I have to call him and figure it out. Just scheduling the live dates and everything kind of got away from me, in addition to not having a fucking job. So I will go ahead and contact him and figure out what we can do. But tweakedaudio.com/40, always earbuds, like I said, autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds and cock ring watches available now. Go to Zazzle.com through Joe Business and you will get mugs. Fireboy and Thorgar and Yeet mugs are available. T-shirts are available. Red Boy and Scar Panda, those are available. We are out of the 2X and the 3X, and we do still have some extra larges left. And then, of course, all the lower sizes are available. And I will be bringing those on the road and selling them from the dates that I have. And, if you guys know of a T-shirt company, let me know because I'm still in the market and I want to get some more made, blah, 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 as always. Also on the Joe Business page, there is, like I said, the mugs. There is the Podcast of the Caribbean set, which I mentioned earlier in this show. Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, and Year 4. And like I said, if you buy them and you write me and you tell me to hold off, I will wait for you to listen to them in order and catch up. And then we will go ahead and resume properly with the show so you can we'll all be together in this. We need to go, I need a single file line. I can't just have a swarm of you swarming around. I need a single file line of bees. Also, don't forget that the Schmitty Comes Live download is available. It is a $5 audio download of my live performance at the Los Angeles Podcast Festival last year, and it's fucking good. I won't lie. I just saw someone this week. Our friends Aaron and Rachel, actually, Lily and I had dinner with them last year, and then I just had dinner with them again this year. Maybe I'll talk about. There's nothing to talk about. We ate a ton of good food. It was amazing. But Aaron told me that he had finally listened to the Schmitty Comes Alive download, and he goes, "You're right." He goes, "It is absolutely a perfect representation of what you do for people who've never heard the show." So if you know someone who hasn't heard the show and you want to get that for them, like I said, $5 audio download, or if you already know what I do and you want to reinforce the fact that this is exactly what I do, go ahead and pick up the $5 audio download. Schmitty Comes Alive. The link is available at the Joe Business page on MikeSchmidtComedy.com. And now I have to leave this fucking germ chamber and pray that nothing bad happened to me. I have to head home. And I will tell you this, though, there's danger at my house, too. I was going to tell you this in the beginning of the show. And it got away from us, folks. Look, it got away from us. You can't make bees do what you want them to do. Bees just fly in a circle. They swarm around. Bees do whatever the fuck they want. I'm not the queen. The queen tells them what to do, and the queen had the afternoon off, so we fucking went all over the joint. But the first bee, like I said, remember I said there were a bunch of bees in my head, but then bees keep filling it up, and there's more bees to tell you about. Here was the first bee that filled up that I was going to tell you about. I walk out of my house today. I should put this clip on fucking the internet. I open my apartment. I should. I open the apartment. I walk out. And I turn the corner, and there's an air conditioner. You know, I have two air conditioners in my house, one in my bedroom and one in the living room. Well, you know, it's one of the old-timey ones where it's the face of it is in your house, but then the ass end of it sticks out, that metal fucking grating. So I open my door, and there's a screen door, like a big, heavy iron screen door. I lock the apartment, because my apartment is a courtyard apartment. I walk out into America. I don't walk out into a hallway. Not that the hallway's a fucking different country. Hold on a second. I don't know if you know that, folks. Hallwayistan. I don't know if you're aware when you go Hall Slovakia. The United Halldom. Whenever you walk out of your house and you're in a hallway, you're still that's international waters. Anything goes. You can have a monkey knife fight out there. It's fine. But mine walks out into America, so I have to obey the laws of this land. So I open the door, I walk outside, I lock it, I close the screen door, and I turn around, and the air conditioner is right there. It's eye level, and on top of the air conditioner is a bird, and it's just sitting there. It's not hopping around or singing. It's just sitting on the air conditioner looking at me. Because I look at it and it's fucking eyeballing me, boy. I mean, it is right. It is locked in and it will not turn away. And I'm looking at it and I'm a little freaked out because birds, they leave, man. Birds leave. They don't fucking stay there to eyeball you. That's a badass bird. I don't want any part of this bird, right? Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he wants a part of me. Maybe he wants some. I'll take this bird out. But I don't think that at first. What I think is, holy fuck, what the fuck is that bird doing in the air conditioner? Did I tell the story that I did that happened to me at when I worked in Graveyardville? All right, we'll divert and we'll tell that story. One time in Graveyardville, you know, I used to walk the perimeter to stay awake. I told you I had to anyway to check the doors, but I made it a game, and I'd play Mafia, and people were trying to kill me if I didn't get the doors checked in 5 minutes, whatever the fuck. I'm an idiot. So I would walk the hallways late at night, and I would check the doors. Well, one time I was walking outside by their pool area, their outside courtyard, and what's the word I'm looking for? They had a barbecue pool. What's the... Cookout? Yeah, you know, like the patio. So I walk out on the patio and I have to walk, and there's a fence, like a gate, a wrought iron gate, and I have to open that gate and walk down the stairs and walk around the back perimeter of the building. So when I walk up, there's a bird on this gate. It's like 3 a.m. I swear I told this story. The bird is on the gate at 3 a.m, and I walk up, and he doesn't fly. He's not a raven or anything. He's just like but he's not a sparrow. He's kind of big. He's normal. He's not tiny. He's not a finch. I don't know what he is. He's a bird. He's got a head and wings. It could have been a bat. I don't know what the fuck it is. Why do I specify the species? Who cares? It's a bird. But as I approached, I expected it to fly away. I could see it sitting there, and I got closer, and it didn't go, and it didn't fly. And I got really close to the gate, and then I'm right there. It's a foot away from me, and it's looking at me. It's not flying. And so I stood there because it's pitch black except for the lights, and it was really quiet. And he was making that little bird noise, just that like that kind of purring, cooing noise. And I'm looking at him, and I didn't want to open the gate because he's on it. So I didn't want to freak him out. I didn't want to reach toward him. So I stood there 5 minutes waiting to see what he would do, and he wouldn't do anything. He just looked at me and he would turn his head. And I don't know why, because I'm old. But for some reason it signified end of life, and it signified it stirred up a lot of stuff inside me. And I felt awful. I felt awful for him because I felt he knew he was dying, and that's why he wasn't scared of me. I gave this bird a backstory is what I did. So, because he couldn't have just possibly been dumb. I mean, no, he was trying to tell me something, of course. So I reached for him, and he didn't move. And so I put my finger out, because my mom had a cockatoo or a cockatiel, whatever the fuck. And his name was Pacer. And you would put your finger out and he would jump on it. And you could walk around with him on your finger, and then he would jump on your chest and he would walk around and he would bite your lip, and he was that type. Birds are weird. They do stuff. So he was a house bird who knew how to do that. Well, this is a fucking jungle bird. Like, he doesn't know how to do all that shit. But I put my finger out to see if he would hop on my finger, and I was reaching toward him very slowly, reaching, and he was making his little noise, and he's looking around with his head, and then he locks on me and he's staring at me, and my finger's coming closer, and I figured, well, he's either going to fucking beat it or he's going to jump on my finger. And as I got closer, I finally got right to him, and he didn't jump on my finger. And now my finger was on his chest, his bird breast, and he just looked at me. And so I rubbed his chest, like petting him, you know what I mean? Like on his breast. And then I touched his head, and he didn't move. And I used my finger on his head, and I was petting him like to be nice. And I was filled with this overwhelming sadness, and I cried. I was so weird. I don't know anymore. I'm fucking telling you now. But because I felt like he knew that he wasn't scared of me. I don't know why he wasn't. But I knew something was wrong with him because he wasn't scared of me. So then of course, like I said, I empathize. You know me, I don't want to throw floss in the toilet. I have to throw it in the garbage because I feel bad for it. I mean, I'm weird. I feel bad for inanimate objects. Well, he was anything but inanimate. He was alive. And so I had my finger on his, rubbing his, like, under his beak and stuff, like you would a cat, like you would pet a cat under their jaw. And I'm just sobbing. I'm sitting there sobbing at 4 a.m. with this fucking bird, petting it and feeling awful for him, and that his life is over, and it's so sad, and he came here to die, when in reality he's just on a fence. Like, he's just a fucking bird with a brain the size of a pencil eraser who's just looking for a place to relax and isn't scared of humans. Like, but I made him the symbol of everything, the symbol of the autumn of life, the symbol of everything dying and your life slipping away. And I invested in that fucking bird. And I left. I didn't take the route. I went back, and I came back every half hour, and he was still there. He wasn't moving. So I figured I would find him dead there. And I came back at 7 a.m. I actually left work and came back at 7 a.m. when it got light out to see him, and then he was gone. So I have a history of dealing with birds in close quarters, folks. That's my point. Hell, I saw a guy get smacked in the face with a bird by my house. It was fucking hysterical. Birds know me. They either want to relate to me on a deep emotional level like this one did, or they want to crack my ass up like the guy who flew into that dude's face. So when I walked out, I knew this bird had a message for me. So I walk out of my house, bird's on the air conditioner, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm looking at him, and he's looking right at me, and he won't stop. He doesn't break. And I'm immediately flooded with sadness again, because now I think this bird came here to die. And then I'm trying to think, wait a minute. It was dark out. Could this possibly be the same bird? Has he finally found me after fucking 9 months of searching? Because at 7 a.m., maybe he went for breakfast. He could have taken off to find a worm, because again, early bird, you know the story. He fucking, God damn it, that's fucking great! I just thought of that! So he could have just left to go get a fucking worm, because it's early at 7, and he comes back, and I came back, and he's gone. He's gone. So I look at this bird in the air conditioner. I got to stop it there. I should quit there. That's fucking awesome. So this bird's on the fucking air conditioner. So of course I do what we all do now in the year 2012. I grab my phone. I go, I got to film this bird. Because at first I kind of got close, but this bird was hinky. Like, it wasn't moving or flinching, but it was moving its head really quick in its eye, which was much different than fucking Tommy Chong bird at the other fucking building, stoned out of his mind and not moving. So I grabbed my phone. I tried not to move real quickly, and I filmed it because I was going to send it to Karen. Because I will tell you this, we have a history of birds, like I've said, at my house, because I saw a bird hit a guy in the face, and then we had a falcon, like, that was fucking freaky and was coming to eat little birds by my house. And then there was also a mean bird who laid its eggs there, and whenever you would walk down the stairs, it would buzz you because you were close to where it lived. So in my head, I'm like, well, fuck, which bird is this? Is this a fun bird? Is this a mean bird? Is this a comedy bird? What's happening? So I get my phone out and I film it. I go, Karen, we got a problem. Because I immediately thought it was mean bird because it's on my air conditioner, and I notice at the air conditioner, there's like a slat. Because also, I should tell you this, there was a bird in our parking garage. In a tiny hole. It climbed into a tiny hole and it made a nest there and it laid eggs. And so then when the person kept trying to go to their car, it would buzz the person trying to get to their car because it lived there. And then one day we came home and the eggs were all broken on the ground. And of course I sobbed because I gave a backstory to the eggs. But it was awful. It was just, you don't want to see that. Nature is just trying to fucking exist. So this bird's on my air conditioner, but we have these holes in my air conditioner, like there's where it's, where the grooves are, where it's installed in the wall. So in my head, I'm like, oh fuck, don't tell me it's going to lay eggs. There's going to be a nest in my air conditioner, and then it's going to buzz me every time I come out of the fucking house. But, it's like quiet now, so it's not going to buzz me, but it's still on high alert. So I got my phone out and I put up the phone. I said, all right, Karen, we got a problem. And I held up the phone. I go, look, and it was perfect. I filmed it so perfectly. And I said, I don't know if it's going to live here or whatever. And then Oscar, who lives in the building, was walking by, and he said, he's like, I saw that earlier. And I said, did you see this thing? Because he was the one he was going to shoot the other bird, the mean bird. He has guns in his house. I have a gun. Yeah, he's like, I'll shoot it. I'm like, whatever, weird Swedish guy, which seems weird. Aren't they neutral? So, Switzerland, I know, shut up. So so I'm filming the bird and I go to talk to Oscar, and then bat out of hell, it flies. It buzzes my head and it flies right by me. Like in between, I'm holding the camera and it flies like in between the camera and my face. And then I try to follow it with the thing and I filmed it. I haven't watched the clip, but I sent it right to Karen. So my point is, folks, if I wind up dead, there's really only one suspect. And that's why I think I should put the video up, because you can see it. Because I have a tone. Because you know why? Because I talk quickly and I don't fucking think. That's why. I think that's what it means when you have a tone. Is you don't fucking bother to care what comes flying out of your goddamn mouth. I try to grow the show and I want people to get on board, and they're like, I listen to it and you talk too fast. Really, I talk too fast. How the hell else am I supposed to cram all of this into a small 3-hour window? Dude, there's no script. I just go with this shit on the fly. It makes me laugh. If it doesn't make you laugh, turn the fucking station. And by turn the station, I mean turn the wheel of your car right into a guardrail. Jesus fuck. Hey, where you going, boy?